Hello! Alright, so tonight I do plan on working on that sound engine stuff that I was working on the other day. Well, like last week at this point. Jojo, how you doing? Thank you for the 50 bits there. Yeah, so I haven't really done much planning on this, honestly. I probably should have, but I mean, whatever. But where I am now is I at least have. Is this? No, it's not going. I at least have volume envelopes going. So, well, you can't hear that really because the music's only. But I have an envelope for the note, right? Hit a button and you know. It does a thing. Cool. I need to expand that to the other channels, number one. But before I do that, though, I think I want to get... still working with a single channel. I think I want to get, the data format squared away. Yeah, how I want to store the notes, essentially. How I want all this stuff stored in the ROM, right? Like the notes and the duration and the instrument number and all that loveliness. Yeah, I have some ideas, so we're gonna work through those and see which ones work and which ones don't. So, yeah, one option is like making everything completely uncompressed, essentially, and having a single byte for well, not a single byte, but a single command? I don't know. Command, yeah, command slot or something like that for each beat. For each beat, for you know, the notes, or whatever. But I don't want to do it that way because, like, that means that this stuff up here, where there are no notes, it's still gonna be. What is this? 64 bytes at minimum that it just are zeros. So I mean that's a waste. That's a waste. And this is already going to take up a lot of space, a lot of resources, in the first place. And I don't need to just make it take up more for no reason whatsoever. So I need to figure out what I'm doing with that specifically. So. I will need opcodes, so something similar to what I'm doing for the background stuff, I think? I don't know. Something. It was some drawing things. Oh, it's credit data, right? Yeah, because the credits use opcodes. Where's the opcode list for the credits? It's here somewhere. Where is it? There it goes. Yeah, so there's opcodes for the credits for the credit data and the credit screen. So I'll be using something similar for the audio data. Things like begin note and select instrument and that kind of thing, like silence note and all that, note length and what have you. Let's see, where is it? Oh. So I did start drawing some of this stuff out, or writing some of this out the other day. Let's see, is this... Well, where's the start of it? Where's the start of it? Yeah, so things like note value, the volume of the note, the duration, the note index in the sequence somehow, the sequence ID, the instrument ID, the instrument sequence ID. Well, those I've got already... well, some of them I have set out. Like the instrument sequence ID won't be in the actual music data itself because that'll be handled somewhere else, right? Yeah, because you'll never start in the middle of a macro essentially at the beginning of a note. So where is it? This other one over here? And by macro I mean like this stuff right here. So this is the volume envelope that currently works. If you can kind of hear that over the music. So for each step, it sets the volume for the note, and it will always start over at the beginning of a note. Whenever a new note comes in, and is starting to be played, it will always start at the beginning of this list here. It will never start in the middle of the list anywhere. So I don't really need to keep. I don't need to put that in as an opcode or anything like that. I just need to keep track of it. Yes, the volume macro lets it fade. Yep. So yeah, it starts off at 15, which is the highest. It can be the loudest it can be because what is it? The volume registers are 4 bits, I think, for the pulse. Volume / envelope. Yeah, so it's the envelope of it, and that's 4 bits long. So that's 0 to 15. So 15 is full volume, and 0 is, well, no volume. I'm not sure why there's a bunch of zeros there. It would suffice just to, you know, put 1. But that's just what was in the, you know, let's get rid of all of them. The extras. Let's see what happens. It shouldn't actually change anything. This shouldn't change anything. Where's my window? Which this one? No. What? This one. Well, close. There it goes. Okay. So this should still sound the same. I'm gonna pause that real quick. Yeah, so okay. Still sounds the same, which is good. But yeah, the volume macro is the fade on that. I keep getting this stupid performance profile pop. Even though, like, every single time I clear the shortcut, like, do I have to save it? Like, do I have to, like, save the shortcuts or something like that? Is that saved in the workspace? Import settings. So I presumably not. I don't know. I'll put it as a bug for Sour. But yeah. So there are other macros as well aside from just the volume. Like there's also a duty macro. Let's see. That's this one here. Was it 0, 1, 2, and 3? Is it how many positions can that be? Duty. Channel counter sweep. Wait a minute. Duty D, right? Duty. CPU pulse for details. Okay. DD. So it can be, yeah, okay. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Those are the only values for duty. But it can still fluctuate, you know? In fact, I think one of these instruments does do that. No, not that one. Did 2. No, not that one. Voice? Okay, so this one does a little bit of it. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh. Let's turn off the volume macro. So you can kind of hear it. So I can't let duty. So it's a little modification for the very beginning of the noise, right? So if I take that off versus what was it? This note. Yeah, so it's a little bit of modification on the noise itself. Yeah. So the duty is important. And that does need to be encoded in there somehow. But encoded with the instrument, not the note itself. Which will help with, well, space, really. And repeated values and all that. So let's go ahead and get rid of all that. Whoop. All that. Okay, let's see, engine, what is this? Pulse 1, oh, this, sound right buffers, right, all, okay. Okay, so this triangle and noise. So this is all of them? No, this is just right, the 2 pulse channels. Like that. So that's just the pulse channels. It doesn't write the other ones. That doesn't need to be done there, because those are cleared out. Ah!
Hacker Man. He's the most powerful hacker of all time.
3D Code Warrior, thank you for that tier 1 sub for 2 months. Appreciate that. How you doing? How you doing tonight? So I don't need that, because that's cleared out when it's written. When the stuff is written to the APU. No, I never moved. I haven't moved over. I didn't move it over yet. I need to. Well, did I? I don't know. I don't think I did. I remember like meaning to, but I just never did. I just never did. I meant to, but I just haven't. I haven't. Yeah, I talked about it, and I really need to actually add the other 2 emotes, because I have 2 free emote slots that I haven't used yet. And I do have some ideas for what I'm going to put in there. So, yeah, they'll get in there. They'll get in there. They'll get true program, right? They'll get there eventually. Eventually. All right, so I'm only updating the volume each frame. So this isn't going to change for now. It's not writing that the registers for the triangle and the noise. Thank you for the file, appreciate it. It's not writing the registers for the triangle and noise channels, but I'm not touching those right now, so I'm just going to ignore it until I need to, until I can't. As versions of me, not Akko. I mean, I could just make my face an emote too, but I don't know. I'm not really. I'm not that egotistical. Yeah. So this one frame is basically the engine itself. So this is gonna be absolutely massive, I think. I might need to actually break this out into separate portions. Whammy does. She does. I don't know. She draws most of hers though. There are a few that aren't drawn, I think. Like what's one? Yeah, like that one's not drawn. That one's just a picture from one of her streams. I forget what stream that was from, but yeah. Alright, so let's have a look at this. What is this actually doing? Length of macro. So the way it's set up right now, each macro is assigned to a single channel, essentially. I don't really want that. I should be sneezing, alright? Twitchy emotes overlay each other? They shouldn't. They shouldn't. But yeah, so each of these macros can only be used currently with one channel, like hard coded or whatever. But I don't want that. I want these to be able to be used for any channel. And any, well, instrument really, but the instrument I think I take care of. Oh, and so one thing that I am glossing over and kind of ignoring, honestly, for this engine. This is actually what is it? The speed and tempo. I'm more or less ignoring. Just for simplicity's sake. The speed would be the rate at which macros change, I think. How fast they happen. Yeah, so I think the lower the number here, the faster it happens. And tempo would be the number of steps per beat, I think. What is this? What kind of virus is you sending me now? That wasn't what? Hang on, no, copy that. Well, that's a Twitch thing. Oh, you said that actually, isn't it? Yeah, that's because I don't know, heights are weird or something. It's been like that for a while. It's been like that for a long while. But yeah, so I'm ignoring speed and well, I'm not ignoring tempo entirely. I am currently, because I don't have notes and a beat or whatever like that. Well, not beat, but well, yeah, a beat. I don't have. Yeah, I don't have a tempo set up right now. But for the speed, I'm just going to be using the refresh rate. So 60 hertz in this case. It will be different for PAL. I don't care. Music will be a little bit faster on PAL. Will it be? No, it'll be a little slower on PAL actually. Yeah, music will be a little bit slower on PAL, but I don't think I care. The notes will sound the same, but it'll just be the notes will be correct, but the actual music itself will be a little bit slower, because it'll be counting frames for each beat instead of a proper speed and tempo counters. Just so I have one less thing to worry about. Really, yeah, one less thing to worry about. Actually, probably be like a few, 4 less things to worry about at least, like one for each channel. I don't know. I'm ignoring it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, all right. So I haven't actually like looked at this code in a little while. Start sampling A press. Oh, this is okay. So this is the macro right here. This is loading up the macro and the current spot of the macro and saving it to the correct buffers that will be written the next frame. And then all this stuff down here is like loading up the notes. So that's loading up the instrument. Yeah, this needs to be broken out into its own function for loading. Darius, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, because currently this loads it up into Pulse 1 and Pulse 1 only. But instead I should probably pass in like, this is for channel this one, this is for the Pulse 1 channel, this is for the Pulse 2 channel, and this is the instrument. Go! And then send it off to a subroutine to actually handle all that. So I could use the same code to load an instrument for all of the different channels, the Pulse 1 and 2, the triangle, the noise. Yeah. So let's start with that actually. Yeah, let's start with that. So I don't really need that up there. Okay, so load instrument. So this will take what will it take? It will take a pointer to something, number one. What's my, not the data, the sound, 0 page. Okay. Sound pointer instrument. Okay, so SND pointer, target channel .res2. Now this is just a single use pointer. It's only going to be used here. Bridgewater, how you doing? Welcome. So essentially we will load up the first buffer variable address. So either the pulse 2 duty volume or the pulse 1 duty volume, or the first triangle or the first noise variable. And what's it? Yeah, so we'll pass that along, and that's what's going to be used to as the destination, the start destination for whatever instrument we're loading in. Whatever instrument we're loading in over here. Sound pointer target channel is the destination. What do you mean buff type is set? No. There it goes. Okay, so I do need the instrument stuff open up, don't I? Don't I? No, not there. SP. Come on, SP, and then down here, and then music data. There it goes. Okay. Sound lookup instruments. All right. Sound new instrument. Res 1. Yeah, so this would be the idea of the instrument to load, and then this is going to be where to put it, essentially. Wings are here. All right, no worries. Yeah, so essentially the load instrument is going to start from here and do some things. Yeah. We're not gonna do the note right now. We're gonna wait until I move this stuff over here. Keep pushing for whatever reasons. Yeah, I'm sometimes like afraid to skip days because like I'll not get back into it sometimes. I'm afraid of that anyway. You know, I don't wanna suddenly not be streaming it accidentally. But I get it. Yeah, it's tough sometimes. All right. Alright, so no notes, but we are looking at the instrument, start playing. Why is the channel? Why is the channel? Oh, alright, well, no, that should be fine, okay. So, we're gonna load up X, the SND, new instrument. Load Y. Why did it do that? Oh, jeez. Fim, why you do this to me? I'll close out of all those real quick. For whatever reason, sometimes Windows just hates me, I think. I'm blaming Windows on this one. Because I've only had it happen on Windows. That's the wrong folder. Music engine, and then engine. SP, and then music data, like that. And SP sound 0 page. It's probably rename that to like engine or music ZP or whatever, but whatever. Look. Okay. There we go, that's better. Load Y 0, because we're going to be using that with pointers and things. Alright, sound frame, so macro stuff. Oh, this is running the actual engine right here. And this is all button press stuff here. Okay. Okay, so load up instruments at X. No. No, oh, wait, no. First we want to load up A, the new instrument. ASL A to multiply by 2 because this is a table of words, not just a table of bytes. And then We're gonna transfer that over to X. Like that. Yeah. Then let's see. Oop, oop. Wait a minute. Instruments at X. Oh, that's looking up the instrument in the variable somewhere. The loaded instrument, isn't it? That's looking up the loaded instrument. Yeah, that's looking up the loaded instrument. We don't know the loaded instrument yet. Yeah, because we haven't loaded anything. In fact, we're going to be storing that into somewhere. I don't think I care. I don't think I care where I put that, do I? I might. Sound pointer instrument. No, I don't think I do, because I've got a pointer to the instrument over here. No. Yeah, I don't think I care about I don't think I care about the ID for it, because I have the pointer for it instead. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. So yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. Look up some instruments at X, right? And then we are going to store that into sound pointer instrument at Y. Wait. Hang on. You know what? That's gonna break things, isn't it? Okay, so instead of passing in a target channel pointer, yeah, we'll how about this? We'll have Y and X loaded up with the two variables we need. The channel ID, 0 through 4, and the instrument ID, 0 through however long the instruments table is. Yeah. And then I can just use X and Y as the load and the save and all that jazz. Yeah. So I'm not doing that. Okay, so Y holds the channel ID. 0 is +1, 1 is +2, etc. And X holds the new instrument ID. Yeah. This could be out of topic, but I'm kind of curious. Do you visit game jams / conferences for game developers, etc.? I want to. I need to. There is one in August, I think, that I am planning on going to. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but I'm planning on going to. It's on Long Island somewhere. Josh Floor, how you doing? I saw. So hyped for Borderlands 3. So hyped. Can't wait for that. So there's a very good chance that'll be a day one buy for me. Because I don't pre-order. Yeah, so there are things I do need to, like, get-togethers I do need to actually attend. I've been meaning to. but it's a lot of like finding ones that are near me and that I can actually get to and pay for and all that kind of stuff. There's only one thing I've ever pre-ordered, which is a Zachtronics game. Everything else I do not pre-order by principle. I just don't do it. Yeah, I don't want to support the pre-order model, so I'm not going to. Doesn't matter how much I like the game. I'm not gonna. The only exception that I make for that is Zachtronics stuff, because I usually get things that you can. Well, I mean, how should I explain this? They're the exception. Let's leave it there. They're the exception. But Worldwide Conference for Developers. Where's that held? Is it in the States somewhere? Because if it's not in the States, that hinders a lot of things. That makes it more difficult for me to attend. All right. UK. So that makes things a little bit more difficult. Now, online game jams. Oh. I mean, I'd like to visit the UK eventually, but that takes a lot of planning and that's expensive. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able. I won't be able to make that this year. I can guarantee you that. Maybe in future years. Who knows? Who knows? Because keep in mind, I also have to take off work because I do have a day job. This isn't my day job. I wish it was, but it's not. See, I'd have to take off work. I'd have to buy plane tickets across the lake. I'd have to get hotel room stuff. That stuff's expensive. Yeah. Okay, so new sound instrument isn't a thing. So we're gonna transfer X to A. To A, ASLA, transfer it back. Or let's do instrument ID to look up offset. Sound pointer instruments. Now this one, instruments. Okay, so this is for each what's it? Each channel. It's got it has a pointer to the instrument. No Muscles, how you doing? Welcome. Does that say crispy? It does. How you doing? How's your day going? Oh, I need to do this twice. One for each byte in the table. Well, each half of the word. Because it's a word table. Load pointer to instrument macros. Okay. And then what is this? Load X 0. Oh, right, because we're using X for the pointer stuff. So X needs to be 0 so we don't screw up and look at the wrong address in RAM. We'll load the wrong address in RAM. So load up SND pointer instrument at X. Wait a minute. Instrument volumes. Volume macro index. Macro index. Oh, right, because it's 0. So we're setting it. We're setting it up for 0. That's fine. One of these days, I'm gonna make a linter for assembly. Inster volumes, but we're doing that at Y because Y is the channel ID. Even though it says, you know what, we're gonna make this channel volumes? Channel volume What actually is this? Hang on. What actually is Instra volumes? What actually is that? Pay for everything about 120 euros flight and hostel. I mean, I'm on Discord. But like I said, I don't think it'd be feasible for me this year, especially if it's soon. If it's soon, it's right out. Yeah, if it's within a few months, it's absolutely not going to happen. Time off from work and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I will be interested in going in maybe another year or two. So, yeah, and I was looking up prices for TwitchCon Europe or TwitchCon Berlin because I was debating going to that as well. Hotels over there are apparently really cheap. Flights are not. Flights aren't that cheap going over that way. Yeah, so it's a few $100s for a round trip. Shit, it was like $600 or $700 for a round trip, and I just don't have that kind of money right now. Especially seeing that I got a letter from my landlord being like, "Oh, by the way, your rent's going up." So that was today. 27th. Yeah, that's a bit too soon. That's a bit too short notice right now. But yeah, I wish I could, but that's kind of too short notice. All right. Where's the files? Indexes from macros per channel. Oh, okay. So channel volumes. Yeah, so instead of instrument, we're just gonna make these. Well, no, because it's for each macro. Yeah, so it's pointing in the macro. It's not pointing to something directly for the channel. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't get to travel as much as I'd like to, for various reasons, be it financial or otherwise. Volumes. Okay, so I load up that one. Where? Hang on. Wait a minute. Sound pointer instrument. Sound pointer val macro. Oh, up here. Skip down a little bit. Okay, so this is load the volume macro ID. Wait a minute. Oh, those are the IDs for the macros. Okay. Indexes for macros per channel. Volume macro. Okay. Yeah, drop me a message on Discord or something. Why not? Where's my chat? There's a Discord over there if you need it. Alright, so we're gonna grab that, or we're gonna take that and LSRA. Why are we LSRing it? Shifting it right some. Why are we shifting it right? Right. Should that be the other direction? Shouldn't we be going left for that? LSR is right? Shift right one bit. Memory accumulator puts. So we're dividing it by 2. Macro ID. Well, divide the macro ID by 2. Why do we divide the macro ID by 2? So maybe that didn't break because everything was 0 already. That's probably what happened, because it was 0 already, so it didn't break. So that needs to be LSR, or the ASL. Because it's an ID. It's not an offset. It's an ID. Right. We're gonna take this, put it over there, Welcome back. Some nice hot sweet chili wings. Alright, I mean, you know, not for me, but if it's for you, sure. Alright, so this is load up the pointer to the volume grow. And we haven't touched Y, right? We're just reading from Y. Just reading. So we're not putting anything in Y. So Y should still be correct. Spicy is only a small thing. I can't do spicy. I can't. Spicy is not for me. I need to word offset. Load and save the length of the volume macro. Okay. Why are we loading up 0 here? Because this is what's it? This is the pointer to the start of that macro. So I put a large amount of wasabi. That is how. Only spicy burned a hole in my stomach. Now it's like wasabi isn't spicy anymore. I don't like wasabi. I don't like it. I don't like it. For me, wasabi isn't spicy. It's just too overpowering. So I can't like taste anything else. It's more like a bitter overpower. But I don't know. To each their own, I guess. Okay, and then reset the stuff at the beginning. Okay, that I could probably do. Wait, why am I using X here? I shouldn't be using X. I should be using Y there. We're gonna put that at the top, actually. No, we're not. We can put somewhere else. Can I store X at Y? I can store X offset Y, right? Yes, I can. Store X at offset Y. Well, insert all steps. Only in 0 page, so I can't actually do that to this one. So I have to collaborate then with that. Alright, well I can just put that at the bottom then. Insane. When I do wasabi with sushi, I do it with about a third. Definitely make sure to eat some of the sushi as it is good with flavors. Yeah. Yeah, when I had wasabi, it was with sashimi. I didn't realize that they put wasabi on sashimi. I realized real fast after I put one of those in my mouth. That wasn't fun. Didn't enjoy that. So the ones that didn't have wasabi on it were fantastic. They tasted delicious. But the ones that had wasabi on it, I couldn't taste the darn fish. I just tasted the wasabi, and it was so disappointing and expensive. So expensive and disappointing. Just wasn't worth it for me. In fact, immediately after we finished there, my brother and I walked out the restaurant, walked down the street, and then walked into a ramen shop, and then had a massive bowl of ramen for about like $5. Yeah. And that was delicious too, like the real stuff. Insert all steps at Y. At Y because it's the instrument, or not the instrument, the channel offset. Yeah, so when I went over there and had the ramen over there, I'm spoiled now. I can't eat the instant stuff anymore. I need the real stuff now. The instant stuff doesn't do it for me anymore. So I'm spoiled now. Okay, so this is sound pulse flag. So oh no. I don't want to do this one. My coworker stole a whole gobble of stuff for $20. Coworker ate a whole. Oh jeez. Yeah, you can get a stomach medicine for that $20. Not worth it, in my opinion. Not worth it. Actually, I have a picture somewhere. Hang on. Let me see if I can find this picture. From my time over in Japan with my brother. Okay, I'm gonna open up this one because it's gonna open up over there, but I need to open up over here. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Xander Guzman, how you doing? Guzman. Xander Guzman, how you doing? Welcome. Alright, it's here somewhere. Hang on, let me find it real quick. Hang on. Is this it? No. It's close. It's still green, but that ain't what I'm looking for. So they're kind of like crazy about their Kit Kats over there. So they have them in all kinds of flavors, right? Like one of them. Where's the first one I just saw? One of them is green tea Kit Kats. I should have bought these, honestly. They looked really good. Another one was sake flavored Kit Kats. I did buy these, and these were amazing. Terminally Nerdy, how you doing? You're not awake. Oh no. Is it late or early for you? But yeah, so they had an entire store that was just Kit Kats. Like, the whole store was literally just Kit Kats. Like, the entire thing. So naturally, why is it not rotated? Image. Counterclockwise. But yeah, they got wasabi Kit Kats over there because of reasons. I should have gotten this too, just to mess with people, but I didn't, because I don't know. I do know why, because I thought they would get destroyed in my suitcase on the way back. So, why am I writing assembly? Hello, how you doing? Because it's for the NES. It's coding for the old school NES. This guy right here. I mean, I can write in C for it, but it'd be terrible C. It would be non-idiomatic for one, and that isn't really one of my goals. Is to learn how to write games for the NES. Is to learn how to reverse engineer games for the NES, and for that I need to know assembly. What is that? Different candy problems. Oh boy, this is what I think it is. It's like a sampler pack, right? Thank you for that file. Appreciate it. Who's playing the NES? I am. So there. Yeah, it's a sampler. Nice. Nice. Then I find writing things for the NES really fun and entertaining. So I really like it. I really have a lot of fun writing stuff for the NES. And even getting things to run in real hardware. So if I hit that button, this right here is real hardware. I have a ROM card plugged into my NES. It's off screen right now, but where is it? This right here is something that I wrote, and it works on real hardware. So yeah, this is actually a part of the game I'm working on. Not right now, but I'm working on like a sound engine for this. Why not modern hardware? Because the NES is stripped down to the basics essentially. It's a fun programming exercise, and it's a useful programming exercise to write software, or games in this case, for a restricted environment with restricted constraints. Because it forces you to think different. It forces you to not take for granted certain things that we have in modern languages. Like multiplication doesn't exist in this, so I have to do it myself, right? And it's I don't know. It's really enjoyable for me to figure these kind of puzzles out. I mean, and then again, like if I want to do something modern or whatever, I could always where is it? Yeah, I could always fire up. Where's one with code on it? I don't actually have any. Well, there's a little bit here. I could just fire up Exapunks or something, right? I actually started playing these games before I started programming for the NES, and this is like a fake trimmed down assembly language for, you know, it's a puzzle game. It's an amazing puzzle game. Highly recommend, by the way. But I mean, you can only like run this stuff in the game, but I mean, that's fun to an extent. But it's I think a lot more rewarding to be able to program in a real assembly language like 6502 assembly and have it run on real hardware. But yeah, and a lot of me learning to write this is to learn how to reverse engineer it, so I can figure out how this works, for instance. I mean, critical modern programming need also assembly. Is it not better to try that? So this is my first foray into my first dive into assembly. 6502 assembly is like an order or two of magnitude simpler than x86 assembly. Yeah, x86 is a pain. x86 assembly was never meant to be written by hand. 6502 was. x86 was designed originally as the target of a compiler. It was never designed as something to be handwritten. 6502, on the other hand, was designed to be handwritten. I mean, yeah, that's just the way it is. No, and I don't think I'll ever touch 8602, x86 assembly, just because of its complexity. Yeah, 16-bit x86 is very obviously a Pascal VM. Yeah. What is this? Just no context. $6, really? $6. That's not bad. Or in 16. Why is the wasabi more expensive? That's funny. Come on, oh yeah. Nice. Saturday and Sunday. Not bad. Let me know how it goes. Yeah. But yeah, so like figuring out how to construct a sound engine on the lowest level, I think is pretty rewarding. And figuring out all the little intricacies of this engine, because the NES hardware is very simple, right? It's got like for each channel, it's got 5 channels, 4 that I actually care about, because one of them is a pulse width channel that I'm not going to touch. But it has 4 sound channels, like I said, that I care about. It's got the pulse trigger, the 2 pulses, a triangle, and a noise. You write a value to those. It's a solid note, right? But you can make it sound really, really nice if you know how to. So let me hit play on this. This is not my music. This is music someone else made, but it runs on the NES. So I know some of you in chat will recognize this because I've played it numerous times before. But this is all runnable on NES hardware. In fact, I've run it on NES hardware. Did you write phaser steps in this game? If so, could you tell me how you managed it? I wrote everything myself from scratch in 6502 assembly. If you want to have a look at that, actually, is the code? Hang on, is my command correct? That is not the right GitHub. Hang on, let me fix that. I need to, like, I don't know, stay more on top of it. For my commands. That's the movie night GitHub, not the correct one. Hang on, give me a second. Because this the code, not the code I'm working on right now, but my the game code that I'm working on is on GitHub. Commands. Let's actually edit that. I think that's it. Right? Yeah, okay, that's it. Let's put that. Okay. There we go. That's the correct URL for the runner game code. This is not the lowest possible. Listen here, Bridgewater. Listen here. Don't make me come over there. Don't make me come over there and slap you. It is a very low-level music engine, though. It's not quite like, you know, using a magnet on a magnet on a platter or whatever in a steady hand. But I mean, it's not far off either. Anyway, no. Add those music numbers to the progress album. What, these? No, these I didn't write. I didn't write these. This I did over here. But I mean, I don't think that really counts. Where's my other window? This window. It's also not MX Butterfly. Yeah. I'm glad you knew where I was going with that. The molecular level. Herinko, Henry, no. Am I saying that right? How you doing? Welcome. And yes, I am using Vim. Yes, I am. Bridgewater, though, does actually use Emacs, so. Warcry, how you doing? Would you recommend messing around with writing a NES game? It sounds like a fun little project. It is a blast. I've had so much fun with it. So yeah, absolutely. If you can stomach the assembly, absolutely. It might be a little hard to getting into, like starting up with the Hello World. But once you get that done, once you get like the basic of, okay, I have a ROM and I started it. Nothing's on screen, but I started the ROM. Once you get to that point, it becomes really fun, I think. Atom? I don't use Atom. I have a coworker that uses Atom, but I mean, how you doing though? Brohandle 1324, welcome. So I taught a coworker how to exit Vim. Really? And the headers, the headers and the ROM, assembling the ROM. That's what I include in the Hello World program essentially. For the NES is assembling the ROM from source code and getting it to run in an emulator, just a blank screen. That's what I consider the Hello World. It doesn't say Hello World on it. It doesn't have the text because that requires more steps. But yeah, once you get to that point where you get from source to the ROM itself, that's the hard part. That I think is the hardest part of it all. Yeah. But I have a blast with it. I really enjoy it, and if you can stomach, and if you can handle the assembly, I'd absolutely go for it. Very well, that's good to hear. Too much time to invest for you, yeah. And the headers, I mean, honestly, I don't really muck around with the headers at all. I found a macro to do it for me, so I don't have to. So over here, this is the runner code. This is the game code I have. So I include a file over here. That's a massive macro file that I did not write. I found this somewhere. This is the only bit of code that I copy pasted from somewhere else, because doing the header stuff is just a pain. And if someone wrote all the nasty bits for me that I don't have to worry about, and I can just like set things to like mapper number 1, and this is how much program ROM we have, and this is how much CHR, and yada yada yada. That's whatever. But macro, Windows or Linux though. So this should be able to assemble on all 3 of those. I think there was someone that was able to get it working on a Mac. I'm using Windows here, but I'm using all Linux tools, Vim, Make, and well, CA65 or the CC65 toolchain is cross-platform. So you can, and I have compiled it on Linux. And run it too. So the emulator I use is cross-platform. Mac, Windows, Linux. Nice, Jojo. Nice. He's throwing that in a cookie. So yeah, this well, if you do exclamation point tools, you can see all the tools I'm using, the editor and the emulator and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, so this debugger here, where I can step through code and it disassembles the code for me. This comes with my emulator, and I use this extensively. And Bridgewater's always ragging on me because I I have all these fancy tools that they didn't have in the back in the day. But yeah, this I'm spoiled with this right here. So because I can just no F11 step through the code and well that's just stuck in a loop right there. Bam, there it goes. Step through the code and see exactly what it's doing, what things it's setting, and all that kind of stuff. So it's pulling out, yeah. How to code the physics? Could you recommend something? A little confession there. I don't actually have any physics coded into, well, real physics anyway, coded into the game. It's all a lookup table. So I cheesed that one a little bit. Where is it? Hang on, it's over here somewhere. I forget where it is exactly, but it's here somewhere. Where is it? I think it's in here somewhere. Down here. Yeah, so I treat the physics as animation frames right here. So the values here are what is it? Y values? Yeah, they're Y values for one of the sprites in the player character, and for each frame I just increment to the next value. I just use that as the jump animation and physics or whatever. It bounces back and forth, but so I kind of cheese that one a little bit, so it's not actual physics. I meant to, but I just got lazy. The only thing I could go to assembly, to be honest, it's not that bad once you understand what you need to do. It's a lot of okay, I have this complex problem and I need to break it down in its parts. Like for the jump. So what happens during a jump? Okay, the sprite moves up and moves down after you hit a button. Okay, so I have to wait for that button to be pressed, and then once that button presses, I need to jump. Okay, what does jump mean? Okay, the sprite is at this certain position. Jumping means it goes up. It goes up on the screen. Okay, so I need to figure out for each frame where we are on the screen vertically. So then it's just a step through of that. So where is it? So right here, loading with the controller, we're masking out just the A button to see if A was pressed. If A was pressed, we're not jumping. Where is that? That's down here. If A is pressed and being held, we're jumping. If we're at the peak, we're not jumping anymore. We're falling back. So that's what that is right there. Then we're not falling back. We're still going up. Okay, what frame are we on? And then we're going to compare that to, okay, are we done jumping yet? Are we at the peak? Are we at the peak of the jump yet? If so, we are, and we're going to just start falling again. That's this stuff down here. Yep, we hit peak. Set peak to 1. If not, we need to keep going up. So this is loading up the next frame. This is moving the player up essentially. Clear carry, add 1 to A, which is the current frame, and store that in the player jump frame. And then we load. That's the animation index, and then we load up the actual value, and then we store that over here in the sprite stuff, and update all the sprites. So it's all breaking down larger problems into their component parts. What language am I using? I'm using 6502 Assembly. How you doing, Dare Digit? Welcome. Yeah, Exapunks is a good intro to assembly. Yeah. Exapunks or Shenzhen IO is another great one. Tiz 100 if you want to do that one. That's a good one. Those are all Zachtronics games, by the way. Writing a video game emulator is an interesting backwards introduction to assembly as well. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. As I said, we need more NES emulators to support INES Mapper 186 properly, including the tape drive. Emulators currently known to support this tape drive? None. Yeah. But it is basically how physics works in games, just continuing counting how fast pixels moving on the screen. Yeah, kinda. I mean, that's an oversimplification, but yeah, pretty much. Godfather, how you doing? Morning. It's evening for me. It's what time is it for me? It is 7:30 for me. I could have just looked over there. Why did I have to look at my phone? I don't know. How you doing? It's not quite morning yet for me, but hello. Code Wars, an absolutely classic intro to assembly. I don't think is that a book or like a movie or something? 6:30. What are you saying morning for? I have done collisions, yes, and the way I do collisions, again, I'm kind of cheesing it. I don't have like a bounding box or anything like that. It's kind of cheesed. I'm not gonna lie. It works on columns and a height. So the way the way this is all set up, you can't really see it all that well, I'll admit. Let me get to one that's a little bit better. Hang on. Something good. All right, this will work. So for this right here, there's a bunch of spikes there, right? So there's collision when, well, a few different things happen. Once I go over that black square, essentially over the spikes, if I'm still on the ground when the character is over that, is in the same meta tile as that, that's when I collide. Yep, I collided then. Cool. So for this, I'm just checking what column the player is currently in, if there's anything else in that column, and if the player is high enough to avoid that column, or to avoid that obstacle. So it's kind of cheesed. So if I were to run this backwards, so the guy would be running backwards, the collision would be completely broken. Completely broken. I think. Pretty sure it would be completely broken. Listen here, you. It's morning in universal greeting time. Okay, that's fair. Code Wars is a game. I used to play it in the Mac SE at school. Was it only a Mac SE thing? A Mac game? Back when the Mac SE was somewhere near state of the art. All right, that's old. It's before my time. Libertron, how you doing? Welcome. If the player's high enough, I see. The green screen one? What green screen one? Oh, you mean the one I'm currently working on? Yeah. What is this? Code War. Oh, what in the world is this? Okay. Huh. Neat. So, one of the very first hacking games, then, essentially, right? That's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cool. Felix the Cat. I see you play NES games. I don't think I've actually played Felix the Cat. Hey, let me get up the music while I'm doing this one here. So this is the ROM I'm currently working on, the proof of concept ROM that only does music stuff. So if I pause my actual music, like that, and I grab my controller and hit A, a note happens. It might not seem like much, but it took a while to get here, because on the NES, if you just tell it to play a note, it plays that note and doesn't stop. It just continues on its merry way. So the fact that it stops, even though like I still have the button pressed, that means that there's a bunch of infrastructure there that controls that. In this case, it's a volume envelope, or a macro, really. So for each frame, it reads data from the instrument macro stuff and updates the instrument as it's needed. So that's the stuff down here. This is the volume macro. 15 being the highest volume. No, I know a bunch of languages. This is the only assembly I know. But I know the handful of languages that are higher level, like C#, VB, Go, Python, PHP, Perl. That one doesn't really count, though. I mean, because that one's like this is a proof of concept ROM. This isn't in the actual ROM. Oh, COBOL. COBOL's another one. Thank you, Darius. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. This one's taking me a while. I've been working on this one since October. Although this isn't my first game I've written on the NES, this is the most complex one I've written. I made a note on the date tag. Okay, yeah. So thank you, Jojo. The first game I wrote was Pong on the NES. That one, both the code and the assembled ROM are available at that GitHub in that GitHub repo. Still say that RPG4 is an interesting language, especially the more modern implementations. Maybe one of these days I'll look at it, Bridgewater. Maybe one of these days, maybe. I don't need to do it over there. So the first game I wrote, it does have an audio engine, but it's a very simple audio engine, even simpler than the one I'm using here. Where is it? This one? There it is. So this is the first game I wrote in about 2 months, give or take, I think. I'm learning because is this language useful to change also to other modern assembly languages? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know any x86 or ARM or RISC languages in assembly. It's possible, but I don't know. I can't really offer you any direction there. I learned C#, Python, and I do web apps and such. Yeah, my day job is working on internal website things in C#, VB, and SQL, and I hate VB with a fiery, burning passion. There was actually an issue the other day that I broke things on the dev server, right? Yeah, it was mostly backend stuff that I'm working on. Because I try to avoid the front end stuff like the plague. It doesn't always work though. So I was given a task to change a thing, right? So this one particular function took 2 parameters. It took like a file name and a file type, right? So the first bit is a string. The second bit was a string for some reason, right? It's .pdf or .txt or what have you. Defaulted to PDF. So I went and made that an enum, because the enums are better than strings, right? Because you can only be, VB stands for please send help, right? So I changed the type, right? And I hit compile because I knew it was going to blow up in places, so I could find where it blew up and fix those. So I did. Found where it broke. I fixed all those places and it compiled fine. Beautiful. I commit it, I push it, and then I go home for the day. Back the next day. Oh, by the way, the test started failing. Tests for what? Yeah, I'm getting like weird errors on these web pages. Comes to find out that VB doesn't care like about the function signatures, like the types at all. It just cares about the number of parameters in the function. It doesn't care about like the type at all. So it was blowing up because I was trying to convert the text of PDF or DOC to a number. VB, why couldn't you just tell me that or warn me for that at least when I compiled? Like why did it have to why VB, why did you make a compile time error, runtime error? Why? So I hate VB so much. So much. Before you say anything, Bridgewater, I've never used VB6, so I don't have an opinion on VB6. So in Python, in order to get JSON serialization, you have to use multi-inheritance and inherit both enum and another type. So in a project, I have an enum that is a number and another that is a string. Why Python? Why? Oh, that's difficult. But yeah, so this is the first game I wrote on the NES. I think I've actually broken some of this stuff because the credit screen is busted entirely. Assembly doesn't know what types are though. Assembly won't fail because it tries to convert types. Assembly will just keep on chugging along. I'm not going to tell you what company I work for. I will tell you that I work for a shipping company. That's about as far as I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, I need the right. This one here. Okay, but perfect example is this of this. No, not start. No. Shoot. Come on. Game power cycle. I can't remember my own keybind, so I think it's A, B, and then start. There it is. So something was wrong here. I don't know what. I don't really care to figure out what. But a parameter is wrong somewhere. Point is, assembly does not know what types are. In assembly, you define a type. You say, oh, that's a character because you make it a character. Assembly could care less. Assembly doesn't know what a type is. Everything is a number to assembly. Typed assembly is well, not to this one anyway. And there's some rather interesting assembly architectures out there. All right, Orc Tamer, how you doing? Amazon Assembly, sure, why not? Because I like how he types. Yeah, okay. But yeah. By the way, this credit screen is people that were subbed to me during this project. The Pong list is kind of short, but the oh, I actually need to reassemble that one. Hang on, because I added the names. I didn't actually reassemble that. Runner, then make. No, not that. Make names. This is from the other day. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this one's a little bit more. This is a little longer. So anyone that subs to me during this project, I will put on this list. And I don't clear this list until the next project. If you haven't had the Konami code, you ain't cool yet. So I mean, Assembly doesn't know what the concept of emoji is, because it doesn't know what Unicode. It doesn't even know what ASCII is, really. The only reason that like text is on screen is because I am just using the ASCII values for the indexes for tiles. Like the ASCII value for the character 0 is 30 in hex. 31 is number 1, and so on and so forth. So these only line up. I can only like type this stuff in the source file and have it work the way I expect it to. Is because I arrange these in the ASCII order, right? Adding remote to the project. I mean, all right. As long as it does nothing, I don't have a problem with it. What's that? Global pack ship. Because that's the first thing that came up in shipping companies near Boston. Sure. Horizontal positioning is still wrong in places for some of the names. You need more raster. I'm not doing that for these. Speaking of raster effects, though, hang on. There was something on Twitter I saw the other day. And I downloaded the ROM for it because it looked really interesting, and I was right. So this right here, this will actually should work on NES hardware. So let me make this a little bigger here. Hang on. Video size 4x. More raster. So this is just a demo, right? So it's not an actual game or whatever. Yeah, this is all. This should all be able to be run on a NES. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah. Did you know man destroyed the whole banking system by nicknaming his? I've heard of that. I've heard that. Please nervous broken out vegetable. How old is the assembly language? This one? This one's from like, I don't know, the 70s probably. It's old. I mean, the manual I'm using is from 76, I think. Yeah, but the manual I'm using is from 1976. Yeah, so at least that old. At least. It might have been older than that, I don't know. Incognito for stream. Yeah, so it's old. So the processor that I'm using, that the NES uses, the 6502, has the same core as the Atari 2600. It's got different pinout for the Atari though, because they cut every corner they possibly could, which means chopping pins off the chip. But it's the same core essentially. But yeah, and Atari, the 2600 was out years ago, or late 70s, right? Mid late 70s? I don't know. But yeah. Probably not much. Probably not much, honestly. Jojo.
Hacker Man. He's the most powerful hacker of all time.
Jojo, thank you for gifting Orc Tamer a tier 1 sub. 28 subs. Jeez. That's a lot. Yes, let me go ahead and add you to that list before I forget. Down here. Did I spell the right? Yeah, I think I did. Tier 1. And then I'm going to come over here and then do that again. Wait, erase that. No, I can't. I never said that. Technically, you typed it, but whatever. Yeah, I'll open up in just a second. Play the video. No. But yeah, so this is all raster effects going on here. So let me open up the PPU. So this is what the video memory looks like for this guy. You'll notice that it's a lot more static than that. A lot less like compressed or whatever, not scaled the way you think it'd be scaled. You people will pay good money to port Mother 3 to a SNES card. I haven't started a SNES assembly yet. It is one thing I do want to move to, but I haven't started it yet. There's when you're here. Yeah. Yes, I saw this version of that trailer. It's looking nice. It's looking interesting. I can't wait for that movie to come out. But yeah, there's a lot of different effects happening here that you don't really see much of on Games of the Day, because this is from was Absolute Legend. I spent 3 years doing that. No, this wasn't a 3-year project. This was like a few week project, I think, by the guy that did it. It was some guy on Twitter. I can probably find the post. But essentially, this uses VRC 4 or 6, one of those, one of the Konami mappers. What number is it? It is mapper number 20 something, 23. Mapper 23. So each NES cart has some hardware on it, right? Yeah, each one has at least 3 chips. Well, each North American has at least 3 chips, or yeah, North American NES has 3 chips. Famicom have only like 2 at the least. Wow, that's not strictly true, but for the start games anyway, the earlier games, that's the wrong one. Mappers. So one's like the chip for the program ROM, one's the chip for the character ROM, and then eventually people started using mappers, so you could access more memory and have more features and whatnot. This one, the mapper that they're using, adds some scanline counter stuff. Yeah, it's either the VRC or 4. It's a Konami mapper. But essentially what that means is every scanline it fires off an event and then counts cycles essentially to scroll the screen on that scan line, which is kind of nuts, honestly. But yeah, I started doing a test for a Barbie game that I actually physically own now. I'm not sure where it is, but it is here somewhere. I physically own the game now. Is that no? I see it. It's buried over there, but I do physically own it now. What is my goal? To reverse engineer NES games, to see if I can figure out exploits that could be used in a tool-assisted speedrun. That's the short of it. A lot of it is they could only have 6 at once. No. You can have up to 64 sprites on screen. 8 per scan line. So if I open this up again and I go over to the sprite viewer, so those are the sprites on screen at any given time. And you'll notice that they don't really overlap very much horizontally. What is this one? I mean, maybe? I don't know. 66. I wasn't, but I can. Yeah, I was working on some other stuff more recently, like the emotes and whatnot. have about 250 Zoro sprites on screen if at once on the NES if you're clever about it. Yeah. So without being clever about it, you can have 64. If you're clever about it, you can have more. Why do you hate JavaScript? You also hate puppies. I very much dislike JavaScript. I've ranted about it on stream before. The fact that it's not strict typed, that it's interpreted, that every browser handles things differently. Yeah. So I train reverse engineering. Well, I mean, I don't really train it. I want to get into it myself, reverse engineering, which I've been practicing a little bit with this. This is a tape drive for the Famicom, by the way. The only documentation that really exists of this is what Bridgewater and myself have reverse engineered ourselves. Plus is not a passing grade. Got TypeScript now. No, so what's it? So the project that Jojo is bringing up is something that I've been working on Saturdays on stream. It uses WebAssembly, so I don't have to deal with JavaScript as much. I still have to, but not as much on the client side there. And for strict type, I mean like strict types. Like you can't assign a string to a number without converting it first, kind of thing. The fact that too many functions return any defeats the purpose. Yeah. I'm currently cranky about Python because I had a working Python program in a virtual environment, and it doesn't work anymore after about a year worth of host system updates. Yeah, I saw that on Discord. But I see JSON. I mean, I don't know. I don't inherently hate JSON, but I mean, I don't know. I don't 100% agree with it either. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Jojo, you're doing most of the JavaScript stuff, so. Because I'm not going to call it JSON. I'm not. I'm just going to pronounce it. I'm going to pronounce it Jason. Because that's easy to say. I'm the first to say it that way? I doubt that. At least not where I am. At least it's Jason, not Freddy, right? There you go. But you know, I want to see if my ROM card can actually handle this. Hang on. We're gonna copy that. Turn that off. There. Where's my adapter? There it is. I say the sun and Jason as son. Jason. Pronunciation. A slight pronunciation thing. It's probably just because of the part of the U.S. that I'm situated in. Yeah, every once in a while I live south-ish of Boston. So New England, right? Like Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, parts of New Hampshire and Maine. That's all New England. I'm not originally from New England though. I'm originally from New Jersey. I was born even further south than that. But so I've only been up here since I started school, which is 7 years ago, give or take. No, 10 years ago. A while ago. Anyway, I've started catching myself with a heavy New England accent sometimes, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Tomato, yeah. Isn't Jason and Jason pronounced the same? I mean, the worst they possibly. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not, because I mean, the part of New Jersey I lived in was nice, because it wasn't the center of Jersey. But once you get to like the center of Jersey, you don't want to be there. Farm with orange people. Yes. Alabama, we all know this. Yeah, sure. Okay. If you say so. Let's see, homebrew demos, and then I'm gonna paste that there. Keep everything all nice and organized. I'm gonna pull that out. So I've been told I have a British, Australian, and Russian accent, like all in one? I've always lived in Florida. The best state is unconsciousness. Unconsciousness. We all know this. There it is. Alright. Okay, so in order to like actually see this output, by the way, I still have to look at OBS because I still haven't bothered buying the mounting brackets for the TV. Whatever. Demos, and then this one. So let's see if the mapper is supported. Yes, it is. Awesome. Beautiful. So this is running on real hardware right here. So yeah, there's no emulator magic pulled. That's not an emulator. The Spanish accent. Different times. Most of the time it's British. I don't believe you. What? That this is running on real hardware? Yeah, that's real hardware. I mean, I'm looking at it to see if I can like. It is real hardware. Pull out a chip and burn it. One game you cannot be defeated. Burn out on ROM. I don't have any ROM chip burning hardware. Bridgewater does, I think, in various states of I don't know, workingness. I have this muted. Hang on, let me turn it on my mute that real quick. And which one is it? This one? No, it's not the audio box. It's going to be the there it is. Southern accent is the best. But yeah, so this actually is real hardware, believe it or not. I'm not sure this project's projects is adding an LPT port to my breadboard. 65A16 machine, so I can run my flash ROM program without it. Yeah, you mentioned that. It's, over here. You mentioned that. Is your learning only for educational purposes, not later for real use? For now, yes. If this somehow pans out into a day job or being used in a day job, awesome. I don't see that happening right now. But I mean, it's something that it's a project that I need to keep myself sane. As funny as that sounds, because a lot of the crap I work on at work is just take data from here, from this API, do a thing to it, and store it in SQL. Rinse and repeat for 6 months. And it's just soul crushing sometimes. So to work on something like this that actually makes me think and try and solve problems differently. I find it very, very rewarding, honestly. I really do. But let's go ahead and load up this again, because I think I know I added a name to it. Let's make sure it's there. I mean, I could sell them, because everything here is all written by me. I'm not using any assets that someone else drew, for instance. Like, I drew all the assets for this. You were doing your... Yeah, I know. In the area that I'm in is actually fairly dry when it comes to software jobs. I really need to get out of this. I need to move, like, to, I don't know, North Carolina or something like that, or into Boston proper. But I'm gonna can't really do that right now because of reasons. But yeah. Captain Longfox, how you doing? Moved to Silicon Valley. So living expenses for Silicon Valley are ungodly high. So I would make a significant effort to avoid moving to Silicon Valley. Come to Florida, where we all smell, according to me. I would not be able to live in Florida. I wouldn't be able to do the humidity. So, I mean, I don't know about that. Come to Florida, there's nothing on here. Puff Seagull, how you doing? Welcome. Alright, so he is there. Good. But now Miami, because that's too close to me. San Fran is expensive. I probably can get a jump code in there. Yeah, I mean, but I've also visited California. I don't think I'd like to live there. But I mean, that's just me. Charlotte, really? I hear it's nice over there. Doing good, trying to get my editor to play nice with the plugin. It's not working well. Oh no. What editor are you using, out of curiosity? You know what I'll do? Hang on. Let me open up, because I think I still have the stuff set up for this. Yeah, I do. Okay. I still have the, there it goes. And then just go down to that. There we go. Yeah. Have that run in the background, because why not? I liked walking half a mile to 9 different websites. Walking to websites. Restaurants. Well, yeah, that's like any inner city, really. It's just, you know, a short walk to a restaurant. Walking to websites. Oh, anyway, where was I? I didn't get very far on this, did I? Volume steps. Where's that over here? Volume steps. There. Oh, right. Trigger the thing. Oh, how do I do this again? I will use that as a lookup table. I'm going to make a lookup table that has the mask bits for the things to update. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. One of those I could use too, right? What is your main language I'm using? For this project, it is 6502 Assembly. But I also work in Golang and C# and, well, C# and VB at work, at my day job. Do we even have a winter? Barely. Barely. It snowed a bunch here, but it, like, evaporated within a week of snowing each time. We don't shovel snow in Alabama. We have the best food in the country. I mean, best is subjective, really. The language is called English. It's a pretty old language, but most people still use it. Yeah. All the people use Esperanto. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So I need to use a lookup table for this. So this is going to be update or SND update masks bytes. So this is going to be for volume, right? Yeah. 1 2 3 4 1. That's not a 1, that's a 1. I wish I moved to Old English, skip Middle English. You know what, mate? English is the fucking language for the PIC operating system. PIC operating system? Esperanto is a language meant for universal so everyone can communicate to each other. Yeah, how'd that work out? So was, Lojbang? What was that one? Completely artificially constructed language. Because there was one. No. No. Lojban. I don't know. I don't think I was pronouncing that right. Let's find out. Try it again. Lojban. That language. There's another one that was yeah, constructed. The Logical Language Group began developing it in '87. Churchill, what in the world? Oh yeah, Bridgewater, you got it. Lodgeband, yeah. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. It's just clicks? Or it just clicks? It just clicks. So is that English? I mean, this isn't. No. I don't know. It's a mix of different things. And I'm going to guess that Esperanto only clicks for Western languages. Because Asian languages are different. Very different. Yeah. Let's see, what is this? 1887. Most widely spoken construction international auxiliary language was created in the late 19th century. Yeah, it was was goal to create easy, flexible language that would service the universal second language to foster. Yeah. All right, where's some examples of this? Oh, hang on. What's the script it uses? Does it use like Cyrillic or something like that? Something dumb? Oh boy, it's got some non-Latin stuff in it, doesn't it? Yeah, it's got weird things over the. But yeah, so this work. I mean, that'd be easy to go to from Western language, but not anything Eastern. None of the Asian languages. Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, or anything like that. Made by a Polish person in the 1800s. All right, language for Europe. Yeah. You can pick up Czech, Romanian, Spanish, Portuguese, English, Polish, Russian, and so on in Esperanto. I don't know how to pronounce that. What? Chinese? No. But yeah, like, so for instance, I know a little bit of Japanese, enough to know that I don't know Japanese. But the grammar for that is completely backwards, ignoring entirely the script, ignoring entirely the kanji and the katakana, all that stuff. Just the grammar is just completely backwards and flipped on its head compared to anything Western. Yeah, basically orc grammar, basically. I don't know that saying. No. No, I don't know that saying. Where's that from? So this one is going to be pulse 1 volume. Pulse 1 something else. This is actually the one I'm not using, isn't it? This is going to be shoot. Not mappers. APU. Pulse. Sweep. Currently unused. Ignored. I can understand anyway without subs, but it has to be cliche slice of life that doesn't use words from like feudal Japan. I totally get that. I really do. No. I mean, I'm guessing it says something along the lines of, hi, how you doing? Or my name is whatever. That's what I'm going to guess. Find the 1, and then XP. And this is not the sweep. This is, tone low. Bits. Low byte. And then find the 1, XP, and then pulse 1, tone, high, and duty. Yeah. Oops. And duty. Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured out something along those lines. There's also alright, drop that on Discord, Jojo. I'll have a look at it then. Is the language you are using supported by Microsoft Visual Studio because they have a good friendly user interface? I mean, probably. I'm sure there's a language out there, or a plugin out there. If not, possibly. Yeah, probably. I use Vim though because I like Vim and I'm used to it. I do use Visual Studio at work, but not here. Paste, and these are all pulse too. So much. That's why I don't think I have it set up here, but at work I have it set up so when I hit Control, it does the find mouse thing. I don't think English is supported on Microsoft because everything I call them for. A guy speaking Hindi, right? Or they call you saying that your computer has a virus. Quellis, am I saying that right? How you doing? Hello. How do you highlight things in Vim? So you hit V. My V is there. Don't worry about that. But you hit V, and then you use your movement keys to do that, or any movements. This is backward. That's forward. E is to the end of a word. I learned that one recently. Or Shift V is a whole line. Or Control V is a block of text, like that. Doing well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. I work to do the same even then I miss it. Even sometimes I miss it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish you could, like, modify that to be, like, a custom animation to, like, you know, be a massive, like, arrow pointing at your, you know, 4 arrows pointing at your mouse. Like, it's here, stupid! Heard assembly and I'm fascinated. Yeah, so this is 6502 assembly for the NES specifically. But it's the same assembly that's used in the Commodore 64, the Commodores, Apple II, the Atari 2600, a bunch of other stuff. What are we making? I'm working on a sound engine. So I'm currently working in a proof of concept ROM that has nothing other than the sound engine. But the game itself, is that still on? Yeah, it's still on. The game itself is not that. Hang on, that's someone else's demo. The game itself, there it goes, is a runner game. So it's an infinite runner. If you ever seen or played the that runner game on Chrome when you don't have any internet, the little dinosaur game, it's basically that on the NES. Yeah, I need to make like a demo mode for this thing. But yeah, so this is actually real hardware, before anyone asks. So this is running on an actual NES, an actual NES. It's off screen though. But yeah, so this is the game I'm writing. I don't have any audio in it yet because I'm working on writing the engine now. Yeah, I still need to make the actual music too, but whatever. The Commodores are the same groups. When I learn a new programming language, I should write down notes when learning. Yeah, I mean, it helps. Yeah, I mean, this book right here, I know you can't really read it because, I don't know, it's washed out or whatever. But this is all, like, notes specifically for NES stuff. So this is some stuff I wrote for the collision detection and figuring out, like, all right, how do I want to work out pits and spikes and things. So I had a few different ideas lined out there. I ended up, you know, taking one of them, but yeah, don't rush to make code. Exactly. Yeah, so I'll, like, when I do laundry, I go to the laundromat, and I've made it a habit to do planning for different things, project planning. So this is where I wrote all this, is at the laundromat. So even for this, even for the audio stuff, I have written out some ideas and things I need to keep track of. For instance, opcodes that I might use, things I have to keep track of for sound effects, what the opcodes might be and how they might be constructed, how I want to play sound effects, that kind of stuff. I was trying to sit. Yeah, Super Mario was designed on grid paper. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I want to learn assembly too, but I think your language will not help for that. What, 6502? Or do you mean English? I don't let you spend $25 on this Neo Geo double gaming systems. I mean, I kind of want one of those, like those bar top systems, but Yeah, there's time to sit. I mean, at the laundromat when I do it. Otherwise, because the apartment building I live in does have like laundry machines in the basement, but they're garbage, and I don't want to spend 3 days doing laundry, so I go to the laundromat and do it all in like 2 hours instead. So my laundromat does have arcade machines, but it's not a Neo Geo. It's what do they have? They have like a deer hunting game. They've got one of the racing games, like a Need for Speed from like forever ago, from the 90s, or a Fast and Furious game, I think. And I think one other. I don't remember. Is it? I think it's a golf game, like with the trackball. I think. I don't remember because I've never like touched the stupid things. Yeah, but apartment machines are all garbo. Yeah, absolutely. Now I need assembly also for reverse engineering, also for Internet of Things. So you'll probably want ARM assembly in that case. Do I need a good computer to code? Absolutely not. I've got a garbage netbook over there. That the only reason I bought it was because it was the cheapest one on the shelf. That was my only criteria for buying the thing. It was the cheapest one on the shelf. And I have compiled and ran my NES stuff on that machine. It's a complete piece of garbage. I would not recommend anyone buying that, but no, you don't need a good computer to program. Absolutely not. My problem washing machines uses NFC to accept payments using an app. I wonder if I can get free washes. Probably. I'm sure you could. That might void your lease or your rent agreement. But if they find out about it, you can start on a potato. Basically, yeah. Diddle, how you doing? There's a golf game homebrew for the NES that uses the SNES mouse. Yes, there are hardware adapters for the SNES mouse that I have. Well, I don't have the adapter anywhere, but I do have the mouse somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's over there somewhere. I bought it with Mario Paint. They didn't have crap. Yeah. It tends towards ARM and AVR. Yeah. I wonder what the White House prices for finding a problem with their machines. Getting evicted. It's probably the prize you'll get. Rare Dare 2. I've heard good things about Rare Dare 2. Third-party company time to code Windows 95 on a NES. Right? Doesn't matter, got clean whites. That's the spirit. I need more water. All right, so let's get these in here real quick. So we're gonna load up the current, what is it? SND pulse flags, and we are going to AND that. Can I AND it with Y? I think I can. And operator with Y. Beautiful. AND's got all of them. AND it with SND update. No, or it. Good. Or's got it too. SND update masks at Y. No. That's wrong! That's wrong. Because I need to, like, divide that by a bunch. No, multiply. I need to do something to that. I need to do something to Y to get the right index. I'll figure it out in a second. If you have a NES extension cable and a SNES extension cable, you can make your own adapter. They're pretty compatible, so you just connect the wires and tape it up. Yeah, it did something like that. I made a NES Paint game with mouse support that way. Nice! Nice! So how hacky was the Game Genie, by the way? They had to do some so many things to make that thing work on the NES. Yeah. So they actually got in a bunch of lawsuits for that, and they won against Nintendo, which is why the Game Genie and the Game Shark exist. Essentially, it's an adapter that do I have the? Hang on. Where is it? I have a Famicom game here somewhere. Oh, it's in the other room. So I was gonna hold up a prop to demonstrate. But essentially, it's a board that goes in between your NES cartridge and the game console itself. By doing that, you can intercept reads from the cartridge, right? So doing that, you can inject code and inject sprites and stuff. So I'm going to guess, I don't actually know, but I'm going to guess that for the Game Genie, it loads up its own ROM first. It's its own game, essentially. Loads some values into RAM in certain places. Probably some self-executing code, too. I don't know. And then loads up the actual cartridge. And then at that point, it might actually execute that self-executing code once to set some values. Or it may mask out reads to certain ROM addresses. So for instance, like the max lives kind of thing, right? So somewhere on the ROM, in the ROM in the ROM for the program, it defines how many max lives you can have, right? So the CPU will go and read that address. So when the Game Genie detects a read on the address, instead of reading whatever's in the ROM, it reads, it spits back out whatever it was told to, essentially. Yeah. How did they win? What did they claim? I don't remember the details for it, but it wasn't modifying the console itself. It's basically how they were able to get around it, I think. Yeah, it wasn't modifying the console itself. And it was its own separate thing. And Nintendo lost that lawsuit somehow. Should I learn JavaScript or PHP? Neither. Yeah, well, sure thing, Orkdam. Yeah, I don't love JavaScript with a passion. Yeah, I hate PHP, by the way. And now that I've learned Go, I don't think I'll ever use PHP for a website. I have learned CSS and HTML and Python. I've been coding for like 8 months. All right, well, those are certainly a good start. Absolutely. From there, it all depends on really what you want to do. And then you'll, well, go in that direction, really. So you can actually just in the browser and learn something like Django or Flask. You can get set up on a server in Python. Yeah. Or do not use Node. Don't use Node. JavaScript does not belong in the server. It doesn't. I've written a little bit of code tonight. I've copy pasted mostly this stuff, but I've done a little bit of code tonight. Until my boss says to use it, he won't actually, because everything is in C#. The entirety, well, my current boss anyway, the entirety of the code base is all on the .NET stack. Oh, Google will kill Go. So the thing about Go is it's open source, and a lot of people have time and money invested into it that are not Google. Google has the vast majority of it, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's not just going to go away. They even use it internally for their own systems, so it's not. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon, like other projects that Google has. Yeah, this one like is targeted internally as well. Like there some of their infrastructure is using it now. But yeah, Go is better than PHP. The web gaming source, yeah, oh, absolutely. That goes without saying. At least 25 megabytes to play HD. Even if like you had a perfect connection with minimal latency, I have a little gnat fly. It still wouldn't be worth it for me at all. Yeah, 90% of the country. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly half of it right there, or 90% of it, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, if you can afford the internet, you can afford the rig. Yeah, it can't be third world country. Yeah, who is Google targeting, really? I don't know, it ain't me, that's for sure. Almost anything written by someone who knows what they're doing with respect to the language, with respect to language design, is better than PHP. Yeah. I don't even know what a megabyte is. I mean, they might. How do you know? All right, so it's not just. Well, I need to store that actually. All right, so I need to transfer Y to A, and I need to shift that by twice. I need it twice. ASLA twice to multiply by 4. So because this is not a table of words, it's a table of, well, 4 bytes really. It's a double word. I don't know. The words. Yeah, there you go. So I need to take the index and multiply it out by 4 to actually get that, and then I transfer it back to Y so I can do the thing. Google targeting Silicon Valley, basically. Yeah. Wow. Let's take some more, man. Alright, so this is reset steps to the beginning. So each time the note starts, it restarts the instrument macros. Yeah, we want that. And this is going to be what is it? You know what? Let's use X for this. Instrument no. Channel ID to mask offset. The one thing I'm a bit good at is loops. Loops are useful. Loops are useful, except when they're not. Knowing when to use them and how to use them is very useful. Absolutely. Yeah. Alright, so this is load the volume mask and save it. Apply it. Okay. That's the wrong one. Where's the window? On this window. Okay, CD up to proof of concepts in the music engine, and then make that. All kinds of errors. Beautiful. Syntax errors? What? 225? Huh? Unexpected trailing garbage characters. What do you mean? Unexpected? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I know why. There we go. Alright. So let's go over here and we're gonna video size down to 2x again, and then we're going to recent and then music. Then have hashtag since 1976. It's not a hashtag, it's immediate value is what that means. Why am I interested in so old programming languages and the NES? Because I like the simplicity. And I enjoy the challenge of writing on something this constrained. But yeah, why are people interested in anything really? Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of fun with it. It's a very large departure from what I do as a day job. Yeah, and I enjoy it. I like doing it. I like doing it. Over here, make sure this still works. It will still work because I don't call that code. Okay. I don't even call the code, so of course it's going to still work. Because nothing changed. So this stuff here. Load instrument, start playing. So it doesn't care about any of this stuff. Instead... Am I storing that here? I am not. Okay. So I need to start there. Alright, so load up Y0. So this is the first instrument, or first channel. Transfer X, store the instrument ID. Transfer A to X for the instrument. My brother has 20 Rubik's Cubes, all different brands and sizes. I just don't ask him. Why not? Why do you like them? I just ask. They just do. Yeah. Plus, when the hipsters finally all leave their parents' house, they want to buy a new NES game. So speaking of new NES games, I got this one a few months back. Nebs and Debs. Great game. Fantastic game. I played this a bit on stream. And hang on. I have another one. Hang on. Ugh. And this one I got more recently. I haven't played this on hardware yet, but I mean, it works on hardware. Yeah, something right at the box. This one, Alfonso's Arctic Adventure. I was playing this on Tuesday, actually, this past week, a few days ago. Akamaffin, how you doing? Welcome. One type of dog not recommended is Jack Russell Chihuahua mix. Okay, sure, I'll take your word for it. Quick check here. You seem to tax too much. You realize tax. I heard clear carts start to smell like burnt plastic if you keep them for long periods. Really? I don't know. Well, it's fine to me now. This is a new cart, by the way. This game was released this year. Actually, the copyright on it is 2018. Actually, I know it's backwards, but I mean you can't even read it there because it's blurry. But it's 2018. Yeah, current plastic. Yeah. Same with this one is brand new. Copyright 2018. And I have a third game coming in the mail eventually. Hopefully this month, or no, hopefully next month. That one I'm excited for. And the reason I bought a Fourscore, honestly. The white one, yeah. So this is the white case is exclusive to their Kickstarter, which is now over. That's kind of why I have the physical cart. Yeah, actually, is that? I think I still have it up. No, I disabled the thing. So yeah, this one is Alfonso's Arctic Adventure. So if you just Google that, you can probably find the site for it. By Spoony Board Productions. My friend has a clear blue copy of Mega Man 2. It's official one from Capcom. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I need more cards, I think. I was actually at a some retro stores not too long ago. Hang on, where's the other? Oh, it's over here. I know it's this one because it's got its own whatever on it. And I did actually buy some older cards, some original cards, while I was out. And I made a point to pick up a bunch of what's it? Unlicensed stuff. I made a point to pick up a bunch of unlicensed stuff. They gave them out randomly. People bought the collector. Really? Nice. Got lucky. I guess so. But yeah, so I bought one licensed game, and or maybe two licensed games and two unlicensed games, because the unlicensed stuff has some hardware in it that's shady. It's the shadiest stuff in the world. So there's a chip in these things. That's a lockout chip. It's basically the DRM, the DRM chip on the NES. It's notoriously easy to circumvent because you just throw too much voltage at it and it freaks out. So the bypass for these lockout chips is just some resistors and a bunch of capacitors and some transistors, and it just blasts the chip with too much voltage and it freaks it out. So it's fascinating to look at. But yeah, it does nothing on my machine because I've disabled the lockout chip on the machine. But yeah. All right, so load the first channel, and X is the instrument, right? Right, like I have that in there, right? Yes. JSR to load. Okay. And this is the note stuff that I'm not touching yet, because this is just instrument stuff. This is not note stuff. This is just instrument stuff. Note stuff will have to be done somewhere else, because that will more or less stay the same unless we're going to use the arpeggio, which I'm not going to. So I think I'm just going to leave that out, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna implement this at all. I might just do the volume and the duty. I might do some of this other stuff. I don't know yet. Probably not. I don't know. Let's see. What is the percussion stuff? Percussion on over here. What does that use? No. It doesn't use the duty, does it? Yeah, it doesn't use the duty. Oh, I broke it. Cool. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so I might just use volume and the duty and ignore the arpeggio entirely, which means I don't have to really worry too much about what notes are being played because they'll stay the same for the whole duration of the note, but the volume and the duty could change. Yeah, and maybe theoretically the sweep, but I don't think I'm gonna touch that for this. I think I might just leave the sweep alone, and not bother with it. But so, all right, let's see if this broke anything. It probably did, but it assembles, so that's a good sign. All right, so we're gonna pause that music and then. Good news is it still works. Nothing changed, which is good because I changed things. Yeah, and on that note, I'm gonna get some water because I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, yeah? Can't leave the dungeon. What are you talking about? Is that a game? Hello, Lafioska? Am I saying that right? How you doing? Welcome. Welcome. All right. So I got that working. This is the dungeon. You said I couldn't leave. Did I? All right, so we got the load instrument working. Don't go. Oh, okay, fair. That's fair. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. You can't leave me now. Well, I'm not being as strict as Mia, so I mean, you know, give me some slack, yeah. All right, load up notes. Oh. Okay, I also want one to load up the notes themselves. So I want to load up a note value in A and pass that along. Yeah. Why am I loading up? No for plus one. Hang on. What is? Okay, I get no for plus one. What? Hey, why am I storing notes? Load. Oh, because the notes is the current note in the channel. Got it. Apparently my Microsoft was breached or something because I got my account suspended for spam and I barely use it for only for work purposes. Oops. Mia would bring the camera to the fridge. Yeah, I don't want you guys to see my kitchen. It's a mess in there. Heck, even just barely off screen is a mess. Like, I have a pile of VHS tapes over there. And this monstrosity off screen too. This thing that I've showed off before on stream. This is an S controller, by the way, like a legitimate controller for the NES. That works. It's not a first-party controller for obvious reasons. It works, kind of. Clicky. A very interesting concept. I need to clean off the pads on the bottom though, so it like sticks to the table instead of moving around. But yeah, I need to find a good use for it because, I mean, yeah, I don't have any good games for it. Those clicks. Yeah. Yeah, actual micro switches in there. I haven't opened the thing up yet, which I probably should eventually, but you know, clean it out and whatnot. But I haven't gotten around to it. All right, so load instrument, and we're going to also think about that file. Appreciate it. Also do a load note. Again, Y holds the instrument, not the channel, the instrument. It holds the channel rather. Holds the channel ID, and A holds the note. Yeah. So we're just gonna take this stuff for now, like that. Paste it there. Store the notes at Y. Load X0. Y. Why are we doing that? Why am I storing it and then loading it up again? I don't need to do that. We'll store it, sure, but I don't need to load it up again. Actually, I don't need to do that at all. What I do need to do is I need to ASL it. That's why, because it's going into a lookup table of words. Pulse timer load. No, so this is going to be Y needs to be an offset. Y needs to be an offset, not an index. How do I handle that up here? Do I handle it correctly up here? I don't know if I do. You know what? I think I want to do everything a lot differently. Well, not a lot differently, but I mean, store things differently. So right now, I've got all the registers essentially buffered sequentially, right? So I got pulse 1 duty, pulse 1. What is this one? Sweep, I think. Oh, that I'm not using. I got the timer low and the high, but instead I think I want to like group all the volumes, all the sweeps, all the low, and all the high together individually, so I can index them easier. What is this? Look at this. Oh, that card! I've seen pictures of that. I've seen pictures of that card. Yeah. 1 in 8 boxes will randomly contain a rare glow-in-the-dark blue cartridge. Wow. $100! Holy crap! 30th anniversary cartridge for $100. Jeez. So you need to spend $800 to guarantee yourself that you get the glow-in-the-dark cart. Essentially, right? Right? Yay, timestamps! Awesome! Second open off screen. Yeah, second open off screen. Nice. Is that something that we configured client side, Jojo? Be awesome. So, might even be guaranteed because randomness doesn't work like that. I mean, if they say 1 and 8, if they say 1 and 8, you buy 8, and one of them doesn't have it, you could probably convince them to give you one. Quarter chance took 10 times. Oof. I'm not entirely sure that the chances on that were correct. Need a bigger sample size, I think. I'm no I am no statistician, if I can pronounce the word right. Alright, so counter to the yeah, okay, so we're gonna do well, hang on. For the notes, I can do them. I can group them differently. Oh, this is a game though. Yeah. Channel Magnetic, how you doing? You can actually buy blank NES color killer shells on eBay for $5 to $10 each. Yeah. Yeah, the shells themselves aren't that expensive at all. All right, Mediocore. Am I saying that right? Mediocore. Thanks for stopping by. You have a good night. Nice. Checkbox and cookies. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Jojo. So each of the channels does have a low and high for the note. Well, I mean, noise is different because, of course, it is. What does noise do? What does noise do? Noise. What are you doing? Sample address, sample length. Huh? That's DMC. That's not noise. Noise channel produces a pseudo-random bit generator. It has a volume envelope and a length counter, like the pulse channels. Okay. Frequency of the noise is determined by a 4-bit value in E. Oh. Which loads a period from a lookup table. See APU noise. Okay, how does this one work? The APU, the NES APU noise channel generates pseudo-random 1-bit noise at 16 different frequencies. Okay. Alright. The noise channel contains the following: envelope generator, timer, linear feedback shift register, and a length counter. Okay. Length counter hall. Constant volume envelope flag and volume envelope divider, period. So right, okay. Mode period, mode flag, okay. So it's only got 0 to F, essentially, for the noise channel. So I think I'm going to ignore the noise channel note thing for now. I'll have to put it in eventually, but, I mean, not for this stuff. Ah, jeez. I mean, do I need to have a generalized function that is only used for 2 channels instead of just hard-coding the 2 channels into 2 different functions? I don't think I need to, honestly. Well, hang on. What's the triangle channel do? Okay, so the timer, the triangle channel does use the same as the 2 pulses. Yeah. Yeah, it uses some slightly different volume stuff. Or rather, has no volume. Yeah. So the note can still be used for this. The note can still be used for this. I guess. I suppose. Yeah, so we're going to, instead of just a notes like this, so that ain't gonna work. Instead we want notes low byte dot res 3. No, yeah, res 3. Notes high byte res 3. That wasn't E. That's E. Like that. High and low bytes for notes for pulse and triangle channels. Yeah. Because noise just works completely differently. Yeah. So load note, channel ID, okay, fine. Notes low byte. So I did, or high byte. Thank you. I'm bad at typing, in case you didn't notice. Proxy though, how you doing? Welcome. Proxy M4 is that? It's hard to read with the highlight, but how you doing? Welcome. Where's my dashboard? It's around here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there. Is that it? I don't know. Nope, it's over here. Okay. Yeah. It is not. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint, but it is not real. The Terminator shower ritual. Proxima. How you doing? Hello. No, so I can't take credit for that one. That one was from a friend of mine in college, and he might even got it off of copy pasta. I have seen the Terminator movies though, so I mean, if you said it was real, I mean, yeah, it's in the about JoJo underneath stream, the about me panel. All right, ASLA, but I do want to make that 4 so it's padded correctly, so I can just 4 third byte is ignored. No, fourth byte is ignored. Just chilling some programming when I'm noticing, not coding myself. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. So we have it padded to 4 bytes, so I could just ASLA twice and not have to worry about it. Not have to worry about an off by 1 or whatever. No, I'm not doing that at all, actually. I'm just gonna straight up use the index. And it's not A for here, it's gonna be just what? Wait a minute, what am I doing? This is the table lookup. I'm not touching that. The table lookup needs to stay the same so it gets the right note value, I think. Yes, that's the right note value for the low. So this is going to store at not pulse 1 timer low. This is going to store at notes low byte. There, and then this one is going to store at high bytes at Y, like that. Do you ever use tabs in Vim? Not in assembly. In Go I do, but I'm mainly a space person when it comes to the tabs or spaces. But I mean, it's smart tab. So like, when I hit tab, it inserts 4 spaces. When I hit backspace, it backspaces 4 spaces. No, I mean multiple files in different tabs. Oh, like the windows, or like actual like tabulated, like with the things. I don't do that because I don't know how to really. I haven't ever looked it up. I haven't ever taught myself how to do it. There's a lot of things in Vim I don't know how to do because there's a lot of things to do in Vim. I mean, just look at the help file. This is just like the index for everything, and it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Folding, I know how to do some of the stuff. Clever tricks. Do I know how to do that? Maybe. I don't know. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, I need to RTS here, don't I? RTS. That feels good. Have I said hi to you? I don't know if I did. Hello if I didn't. I've used Vim for 15 plus years and never bothered learning how to use the Windows/tabs. It services within a screen session. Yeah. You said, okay, I did. For me, I use Tmux because I like it better than screen. But yeah, same idea. Same idea. I mean, I if I need to, I'll use more than one Tmux session. It's the exact same idea. And many times, there's the alert. Many times I'll have a Tmux session open and then split it so I have a console and Vim at the same time. And I know someone out there is going to say, but there's plugins in Vim to, you know, get your console. I don't want that. I don't want that because I don't want to have to install it on every freaking server I use. Or that I manage. It's just easier to install Vim and Tmux. I don't have to configure anything. Alright, so in theory, well no, this won't work yet because I don't set it up to work. Because that's not the buffer. This is why I was switched to VS Code for programming in TypeScript. I don't have to manage Vim configs. I mean, whatever. Why is the console on Vim? Just use the console. So when you're in a remote session, you have to, you know, either use Vim for the whole terminal, or you have to save what you're doing, close out of Vim, and do your stuff there, or use a terminal multiplexer like Tmux, or use, you know, your console in Vim, or do the command, which is, I think it's exclamation point then make, for instance. Yeah, or you can do that, which it in GVim it dumps out a window, but I mean, same idea. Tmux and screen, correct? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. But there's also, I'm sure, plugins to get, you know, a console in a split in Vim in a window. I'm sure of it. Okay, so this will write to these new variables, but these new variables are not read at all. Oh, and I'm not even updating the mask for that, so I need to not load up yet. Well, do I? Hang on. At some point, I need to load it up, so I'm just going to copy and paste it from up here. There's that. Bam. Okay. And I also need to make sure I get the correct channel ID and things. Like that. Channel ID to mask offset. I mean, that should work, right? Well, it won't work for the triangle and another one, but okay. So yet, hang on. Where's pulse flags? Sound. Try noise flags. Okay. Okay. So now it will work for both of them. Yes, because now it spans 2 bytes, but it starts at the first one because whatever. I mean, it won't write the triangular noise stuff yet because it doesn't, but whatever. Yeah. So I still need to like. I need to do this differently. I think I need to unwrap it a bit, and make it a little more complicated. Because I still don't like how because this won't work right now. Because I still need to move these values somehow into their correct buffers. over here. Or move these to where the buffers are, which isn't really feasible right now. Or I need to reorganize the volumes and all that crap, which would be more feasible, honestly. Yeah. I had to code a software for a streamer to display things. I was going to make it web-based with Electron.js, but what do you recommend? I heard streamers don't like eating more RAM since Electron runs Chrome under the hood. Ignore Electron entirely. Do it in straight JavaScript. Straight JavaScript. Is there a Q equivalent? Yeah, QA. It's just, I'll show you. Let me write first. It's just QA, and then just enter, and then there it goes. That's quit all. So, but no, Orctamer, just straight up GUI. No, straight up GUI. Straight up JavaScript, because in OBS you can just load a JavaScript source. Source. In fact, that's what the chat up there is. That's all JavaScript. That's a web page. In fact, if I go to, where is it? Chatbox Mini properties. Can I show this? I don't know. I mean, I can show it like this, I suppose. So it's just a web page that displays. It's all JavaScript stuff. The URL has a key in it that I don't want to display, but yeah. So I would say JavaScript for that one. All Windows, yeah. QA is all panes and whatnot, or whatever they're called. But yeah, it's Windows they're called, right? I don't know. The terminology just kind of throws me for a loop sometimes. But we can also do WA for write all. Probably XA for write and close all. I don't know. I haven't tried that one. Q confused with Q exclamation point, which is very. You can combine them. QA exclamation point, but just the Q exclamation point is just quit and don't save any changes. Yeah, so QA exclamation point will quit everything and not save any changes. In fact, if I do Control C in Vim's like, wait a minute, hang on, you're trying to get out of here, ain't you? Don't do that. Try this instead. It's type :QA exclamation point and hit enter to abandon all changes and exit Vim. So to get this, I hit Control C, which is the abort essentially keybind or escape sequence rather in Bash or what have you to kill a process, kill the current running process. Also, I found out recently that X is shorthand for WQ. Yes, it is. I have to go to everything using Canvas. I'm sorry. You can also do OpenGL. I did it on my work machine, so I don't have the code here. But I did put it on Discord, I think. Yeah, alright, so I can download that real quick. Let's hit open. Is it open? Come on. There it is. Let's see what I can do this. Alright, so this right here is OpenGL. It's an OpenGL cube. And let me hit play. Well, you know what? Hang on. It's just let's actually save that to disk so I can open it with something that isn't dumb. Thank you, VLC. Open with that one. There we go. So this right here is OpenGL in Go. In fact, that's the source code behind it. And the window is actually a white window. Oh, the repeat broke. So the background for the window that is drawing this is white, but right here I've got the clear color set to transparent or whatever, and in OBS I have this captured with a game capture, and I check the allow transparencies or use transparencies, whatever. So if you want to do it that way, I mean, you know, More power to you, I guess. I'm in the process of building a complex bot/alert overlay system right now, using React for the front end. Yeah, that's probably going to be the quickest and easiest, honestly, right now, because unless you have a an OpenGL environment to do everything in beforehand, you can just, like, I don't know, copy paste from somewhere, because the amount of code to get just this cube up and running would be a lot of work. Vue.js with WebSockets. Hey now, Orc Tamer, listen here, yo. I feel attacked. Anyway. Everyone else is second. That's the spirit. All right, so note stuff. So this, I need to reorganize like everything. So there's the run the frame, and then there's the actual blast the APU with the updates, which is this right here. So this just starts at the very beginning. Oh, not VS. I want SP. VSS? No, ZP. Zero page. This starts at the beginning right there, and then just goes through all the variables, and then just blasts it with the... I do it... Oh, okay. It actually just writes the pulse channels. So maybe, I don't know. I don't think I've written a single proper if statement in JavaScript yet, because Golang has no parents. So I might, instead of doing a loop here, I might just say screw it and unroll it entirely. Well, maybe not entirely. Partially unroll. Partially unroll. Screw it, let's just unroll it entirely. I don't care. I do care, because the unrolled bit is the pain in the butt. Because I check flags for each and every variable there to see if that needs to be updated, if I need to push that register. There's 8 different flags for just the 2 pulse channels. There's another 8 for the triangle and the noise channels, each of them having 4. Python is evil, teaches you that tabbing is actually important. My coworker tried Python and hated it for that very reason. Yeah, it is strong. He really has a strong love, I guess, for C#. He uses it for literally everything. He even puts it on embedded stuff, but it's like, why are you doing that? Why? Yeah, he drinks the Microsoft Kool-Aid quite heavily. I don't. Obviously, I don't. But, well. Alright, so how do I actually want to do this? So either I have to give up the simplicity here, or I have to do that over here with the load instrument. No, not load instrument, load note. Where is the load note? Right here. So I have to make one of these more complicated, and I think I'm going to make the load note more complicated. C# is nice with .NET Core, but you guys don't use... Yeah, we don't use Core. C# is a great language, though. Don't get me wrong. C# is a great language, but I don't know. I don't like using it for some things. JavaScript's amazing. I tell you to do something, and it'll do it. You, sir, run that string. As a string right away, sir. I don't like JavaScript at all. At all. I hate it. And half of it isn't even like... A lot of it's not even the fault of JavaScript. A lot of it's the fault of the main browsers, because they do things ever so slightly differently. So you have to, like, jump through hoops to get it working in all your browsers. Good example of this is Firefox and Chrome. They stream video differently. Chrome understands all the formats just fine, so I can just pass that crap over to Chrome. Just give it to the video stream. Firefox, on the other hand, I need to remux the video stream live in JavaScript in order to get it to play, because of course I do. Assembly will self-destruct if you tell it to. It's the true loyal language, right? Yeah. At least in this assembly, I think in the newer x86 stuff there are, but in this assembly there's no such thing as an exception. 6502 doesn't know what exception is. Doesn't know what an error is. Barely. I mean, the CPU can crash, but it doesn't know what an error is. It doesn't know what a type is. It doesn't know what an exception is. It knows what a break is, but that hardly counts. I'm not going to count that one. Linux Unix is the most loyal OS. What's that? Delete everything? No, I'm good. Oh, so delete everything right away, sir. Right? Make me a sandwich. No, make it yourself. Sudo make me a sandwich. Okay. I like how clean this is. I like how clean. I don't want to break this. I really don't. I suppose the middle ground is taking something that reads this and spits out some other crap. That could work too, I suppose. No preserve root. Yeah, right. This doesn't even let you delete System 32. Yeah. Actually, there is a way. Can't you boot up a Linux Live CD and delete it that way? If some directories have weird characters in them, certain weird characters, or are too long, the path is too long, Windows doesn't know how to find it to delete it. I've had that issue many times where I've had to boot into Linux and delete the thing, and then reboot into Windows. That's happened on more than one occasion. Yeah, like the file I got there from like some utility or something like that, or it was a dual boot on a NTFS partition, so the character was legal in the NTFS specification apparently, but I mean it just broke Windows because of course it did. I don't know. I mean, you know, yeah, for now we're gonna break things. We're just gonna do it this stupid way. So we're gonna load up what is it? Notes low byte at Y, not at Y. Just the first one. Right, that reminds me. Reminds me of when my brother had a 1 terabyte drive full of music and it had so many directories when I stopped loading it. Whoops. Oh, so I had my last boss that I worked with. I had a different company. This is the COBOL job. They didn't know what source control was. Like, forget about Git. They didn't even know Subversion or CVS. They had no idea what any of those even were. Instead, everything was in a massive directory on one machine. Like this one machine is the machine that they did all their coding on. Like this one physical machine. It blew my mind when I saw it. It was the weirdest thing in the world. It was a piece of garbage machine too. It was like a dual core cheap box that they bought at Best Buy. But like the entire source tree is being generous, was just entirely in a single folder. All of it was one massive folder of source files, of include files, of images, of some bat files. It was just a nightmare. Yeah. So accessing that over a Windows share, it didn't like that very much. It did not like that very much at all. You just need to change the security setting to make your user the owner, and then change permissions. Yeah. No Windows, I am the administrator. Ask your local admin. No Windows, I am the local admin. Pulse timer. Is it low? Low. +1. Timer high. We're gonna not do it that way. We're gonna load it because the duty could be set. How are they able to code simultaneously on one machine? See, that's one of the questions I had too. Turns out that one of the other employees there, the only other guy that actually coded, had a local copy of the source tree that my boss actually wasn't very fond of. And he would code on his machine, compile everything on his machine and all that. Then he would take that source code, copy it over the Windows share to the other computer, the main computer, compile it there again manually, and then send it off to the customer. Yeah. Can't do that Windows. You forget one teensy little thing. I own you. Yeah, right. Alright, so I need to load up that, and I need to end that with $F8. No, F7 or something. Right? Hang on. What is it I'm ending it with? It's 7. It's I don't have the calculator open. Why am I alt tabbing? Calc. It is 7. F7. I need to end it with F7 to clear out those bytes. And then I need to OR it with that. Galaxy Brain for sharing code, yeah. Giving your coworkers floppy disks so you work. Sending them a picture of the code. Yeah. Sending them a crappy Polaroid of your screen that has the code on it. And that Polaroid was scanned in and then faxed to you. Oh, so I'm looking at the bits. I'm looking at the bit output here. So it's the bit mask for it. That's what I'm looking at. Cause I'm masking some things off. I'm clearing out some bytes. Actually, no, it will be 8 actually, because it's hex F8. I'm keeping the top bits and I'm nuking the bottom 7, the bottom 3 rather. So that's F8, not F7, because I'm ending it with that. I want to keep 07, that mask, which is going to be here, probably. I should probably check. I don't care. Whatever. Then store that back into pulse timer high, like that. So that's the pulse, and then we're gonna load up. No, it's low byte +2, and this is pulse 1, isn't it? Isn't it? Pulse 1, pulse 1. And then we're gonna grab this. And we're gonna put that into pulse 2. The same thing here, but again for pulse 2. Nope, no, come on, F, then the 1, R, and then 2, and then 2, and then this needs to, no, not that one. Come on, thank you. 3, like that. Send your coworkers smoke signals. Yeah, that might work better for some stuff. So client just sent the product team a picture of JSON because the developers were always asking for the JSON output. Oh. Alright, so load that up, and so we're loading it and ending it, by the way, because the high bits of that are the length counter thing that I'm not actually using, but I still want to, not nuke it. So this only does anything for the pulse channels, which is and the triangle. I also need to do the triangle. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. This needs to be the high byte at 0. This is going to be at 1. Low byte at 1. Pulse 4. No, pulse 2. Pulse 1. Pulse 2. Triangle. Paste that there. And that's going to be at 3. And what is it? Triangle, timer low and high. Actually, is there another? Oh, we're gonna ignore that for now. I don't care. Not pulse timer. This is gonna be triangle low. And then high byte at 3, and then like that. Okay, we're ignoring noise for now because reasons. So I don't want to bother with noise right now. So I'm not gonna. But I do need to do something else over here. What am I doing? Start a note. So we're gonna load up A to be a note. And we're gonna comment out all this stuff right there, like that. Load Y 0. Yeah, we're also gonna grab this, and oh no, not there actually. JSR load note. Then we're gonna copy this, paste it again, and we're gonna do C5 for channel 1. This is the second pulse channel. I don't think I'm doing anything for the second pulse channel. So we're gonna get rid of this stuff like that. We're gonna grab what? Wait a minute. Instruments. Transfer A to X, and we are also going to push A. Is that push to the stack? I don't remember. Push accumulator to stack. Yes. So we're going to save that for later. Then down here, we are going to PLA, right? Plah. Plah. So this takes the same instrument that we used for the first pulse channel, and we're going to load that into the second pulse channel. Like that. And we're going to watch as this breaks. This is going to break, I'm sure. It didn't even assemble. Didn't even assemble. What line was that? 208. Notes, because... Okay, it assembled. Oh, it broke. It broke good. All right. Well, okay. There might be. I don't know. I kind of want to write linting for assembly, so that might happen. I might just write a linter because I kind of want one now. I honestly kind of want one. But I don't know of any off the top of my head. Okay, so where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going over to somewhere else. Sending it? No, okay, I do turn those two on. The pulses, both of those. That's good. Right, buffers, no run frame. That's what I want. This guy right here. Come on, there it goes. Okay, so we're gonna hit that button, and we're gonna wait. Button press. I want the button press actually. Not right buffers. But No. This one? That one. Okay. I want that actually. Bam. Okay. I was gonna say something. Don't even use FZF. You probably don't want one. FZF, is that a command or is that a program? Oh, that's the fuzzy finder. Yeah. But no, for assembly, I could actually use one for things like some static analysis. For instance, where is it? So this right here, C4, that is a constant. But if I don't have C4 defined, I want it to freak out right here, right? Because it could be instead looking at what's it? The address of a variable instead of looking at like the hex value C4, right? Because C4 is a valid hex value. Fuzzy finding files, yeah. Right, the no, absolutely not. If anything, it would be in Go. But yeah, so I do want some static analysis type stuff going on in this, and I also do want it to format things for me, or fix my formatting. Like, you know, this stuff up here. Like, I want it to, oops, yeah, no more than that. Just line everything up to the tab width, like that, without me having to do anything for it, instead of, you know, having to do that manually. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. And to make sure that, like, constants exist and whatnot, or and to make sure that memory addresses are cleared or reset when I need them to be reset, kind of thing, or before I'm using them and all that kind of jazz. That's a ways off, though. I don't think I'll get to that anytime soon. Anytime soon. Right. So what? Why is this broken? Why is this broken? Loading up. So 1B is the node itself. That's the C4 node. That's the index to the table for the C4 node. And we're gonna load a note. Okay. So I'm going to be looking at not the instrument and not that, but the duties. The timer low and high. So currently it's, well, that's actually correct. The pulse timer's there. But I also want to do, come on, there it goes. Paste on there for pulse 2. And pulse 2 for the low as well. There it goes. 00D2. Okay, that sounds correct, actually. So it looks like it's loading up the notes just fine. It might not be writing them, though. That could be it. Okay. So instead of breaking there, let's break at sound write buffers. This guy right here. Okay, so we're gonna go through the buffers and write the things. All right, so the flags are just for volume. Why? Did I not set the right flags for note? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Because I didn't add one. I didn't add one to the things, so it didn't. Of course it didn't. Come on, next. There we go. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want a CD anywhere. I just wanted to make it and then reload it. Excuse me, why is it? Oh, because the breakpoint is in a different spot now, because of course it is. No, I have that breakpoint turned on for whatever reason. And now it's not going back. That right there is incorrect. It shouldn't be having that that value for that long. I have a bagel. It's my last cinnamon swirl bagel that I've got. I have other bagels in the kitchen, but this is the last cinnamon swirl I have. I've got some other ones in the kitchen. I don't really want to break out tonight. I ain't throw that out after stream. This looks a little burnt, actually, doesn't it? Looks kind of too dark, but whatever. Okay, so we're going over to load note. In there. No, not there. There. Okay. Loading with the flags. What are loading into the flags? Flags are 0. Fine. And I'm going to order that with 4. And store back into no flags. Okay. Maybe? No. No, it's not 4. That's a sweep. That's just a sweep. Alright, so let's instead do this. Ignore the sweep entirely. And when we update the note, we update both bytes for the note. Always. Yeah. I mean, it's a terrible idea for a general purpose engine, but it'll work fine for us, I think. Okay, where is this breakpoint? Go to location. That's fine. Alright, so we're loading up the pulse flags. Fine. Masking it. Bam. Okay. And then it masks for the second one as well. Good. No, it's incorrect. Why is it incorrect? This number is incorrect. Because I used the same lookup table for the volume as well. You know, okay. That should work. Probably. I don't know. Let's find out. Did I actually load up? There we go. That's not in the right spot anymore. Nope. Doesn't want to work anymore. I broke it. I broke it entirely. It's completely broken now. Beautiful. All right. We are going to break there again. All right, we're going to hit A. All right. Load the flags for 0, 2, 0, 2, and 1. Store 3. Good. Whatever. And the next one, doing the same thing, but for different halves of the flags. And it worked. Good. Okay, so loading the instrument is broken. I guess. I stepped over it. No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't step over it. Okay. Alright. So in Y is the current channel. Good. Y to A. Fine. Do some multiplication on it, or shifting on it. That doesn't result in anything this time, which is fine. Load the pulse flags, or it with 08. Then store it. That worked. That's in the correct spot. Okay. Then we want to do the same thing for the other one. Oh boy. Okay, well, I undid that. Because 2 notes work fine. Load instrument. Why did I skip over the first one? This should be happening. This shouldn't have stored yet. But we're on the second instrument. Whatever. So fine. To 4. Okay. Loading up 3B. And 80 is the new... We're not the... 80 is the bit we want to turn on. We do. Okay, that looks correct. What gives? Button press B doesn't happen. Oh, well. Okay. No B. When it's sleeping. Okay. So now... Right buffers. Let's go there. Okay. LSR pulse flags. So this, the carry is set. Doesn't matter. Because it will still be set afterwards. That's what we care about. Carry is set. Because it shifted everything off. It shifted everything. And the last bit went into the carry. Fine. Carry is not clear, so we're writing the stuff. Writing the volume to the duty. No. Yeah, it's the duty volume. For next by 1, compare it to 8 to the loop. Shift again. Carry is on. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. That is no longer the volume. That is the that's the other stuff. That's a sweep. My masks are wrong. All right. Well. Backwards. Pulse. Oh. Pulse. Oh, sweep rather. What is that? Low and high. those, put them over there. Oops. There it goes. Okay, so now let's try it. So now I should have them correct. Now they should be correct. Thank you for the follow. Do appreciate that. I don't care for that breakpoint right now. It's still broken. It's still broken. Still broken. Alright. Alright. Why is this thing broken? Thank you for those follows. I do appreciate it. Oh, I want to hit that. Yeah. Where's that? Go location. Yeah, it works. It's broken. It's just broken. Broken. F. Yeah. It barked. It's barked. Okay, so now I can turn on that guy there. There's the alert. Okay. DD looks correct now, actually. Let's see if it is. So writing the volume. Shifts off the next one, clears the carry bit. Does not write the sweep. Shifts off the next one. Carry is set. So now it writes timer low. Pulse one timer low anyway. What? What do you mean you won't? Oh, that's as high as it wants to go. I can make it smaller or. Oh jeez. Okay. Well, I really can't make it any bigger. Oh, I have to make the whole window bigger, I guess. I don't actually care about that or that. Or any of that stuff, honestly, right now. I will in a second, probably, but... So we're writing this, the pulse one timer low, which is AB. Okay. We wrote that correctly. And then the high. Cool. Shift it off. And this is the pulse 2 duty volume. Right. Square 1 duty. Wait a minute. Oh, so 800 square 0. That's fine, whatever. I'm looking at the printout right there. A sweep is going to ignore the sweep. Ignore the sweep. Then it's going to do timer low, timer high. RTS. It returned. That's correct. What? Huh? Huh? Timer at 90. I mean, that doesn't sound right, but... Is it? I don't know. Sweep's not enabled, right? Duty 2, probably, I don't know. Frequency. I don't know what this translates to in hex. I mean, like the actual values. I don't know if the values are right or the actual frequency. Honestly, is it? No. Maybe. 105. No, it's not. I'm writing 1 AB, essentially. Which is, instead, $427. That's the period. Got it. Okay. I'm learning how to read this. So it's right now. Okay. Where's the volume? Volume is 0. Why is volume 0? Volume shouldn't be 0. It's in here somewhere. Duty volume B0. Pulse to duty volume BF. One of them is 0. The other one is not. What? Excuse me. Huh? I broke something way out of that second channel, I guess. Right there. I'm only doing pulse 1 duty though. Oh, jeez. Okay. Cookies don't work anymore for time stamp. What? No, this is assembly. No, he's working on another project that we are writing together. He's working on a streaming server thing, but I usually work on Saturdays at this point. It's actually a movie night thing. So I host movie nights with another streamer. Her name is Sleeping Mia. So not every Saturday, but most Saturdays, we watch a movie on Saturday nights Eastern time. So this time around, what is it? I don't even remember what it is this time around. Hang on, it's honestly some movie that I found, a random movie that I found in my movies folder that I'd never seen. No idea what it's about. The Case of Hannah and Alice. So we're watching that tonight. Not tonight. Saturday night. I think that's another 7 o'clock one as well. Details will be in Discord, by the way, if you guys are interested. So, you know, join up if you haven't. That's over there. Yeah, so that's what JoJo's working on. I usually work on that on the weekends before movie night. All right. Oh yeah, and JoJo, I'll probably be working on the the rate limiting on Saturday during stream. So, yeah, I'll at least start that. I should be able to take care of a bunch of that. Okay, so not to load anything. It's the run frame. This right here, the run engine, I think is broken. I'm not sure I want to fix it right now. This stuff is a pain, you know? This is why I've been putting it off for so long, because it's so freaking complicated. Hello, how you doing? I'm working on some x86 assembly. How you doing? How do I say your name? Elma Tupperus? Elma Tupperus. Tupperus? Am I saying that correct? I don't know if I am. I'm probably not. I'm sorry for that. Sorry for butchering that. But thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm working on some 6502 assembly for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Specifically for a sound engine that I broke. Yeah, so this eventually will go into a game. Speak Spanish. My name is Spanish. Oh, okay, I don't speak Spanish. I apologize. I'm going to make worse. Really turns off the color. Yeah, absolutely. So there's the alert. Get that button over there. So this is real hardware that I have off screen. I have it plugged into a capture card. But this is the game I have written so far. You'll notice that there is a lack of music and sound effects, because I haven't written that part yet. I'm working on that now. The colors are a little gaffed up because of off by one issue that I haven't bothered fixing yet. But yeah. So if you ever played the that dinosaur game, what's it on Chrome when you don't have any internet? Why can't I make that jump anymore? This is basically that. This is an infinite runner game where the longer you go, the more points you get, and every level is randomly generated based on that seed at the bottom there. So yeah, I've been working on this since like October or so. Oh. Something your dogs. What? Will you be ending at 10 or 10:30? I don't know. Probably sooner rather than later, honestly, this time. Good game. Yeah, I mean, I hope it is. I hope it's a good game. If you want to have a look at the code, that's all up on GitHub. Yeah, so you'll notice that the player character is just a stick figure. I still need to draw a proper player character sprite. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, his name is Spanish. Yeah, he said it was. Yeah, there's a lot of things I need to fix up graphically for this. Mainly the player character. I do want to have an animation. I don't know if I'll get there, honestly, at this point. I don't know. I don't even have any other framework for an animation for that. I'd like to, but I honestly don't know if I will get to that. I might just want to wrap this game up after the sound engine, honestly, because it's been going on for 4 or 5 months now. Shoot, 6 months. I don't know. It's been a long time. I've been working on this one a long time, and I think I want to get into the next project here soon. So yeah, I think the sound engine is the last thing I'm going to be working on for this game. Yeah, and eventually I should be getting in a cartridge programmer as well, a cartridge programmer / dumper. And I don't know yet, but I might do a physical giveaway of a cartridge, like a what's it, yeah, like a raffle kind of thing. Is it theoretically possible to have a seed that spawns no obstacles? Kinda. Actually, I don't know if I exclude the seed. So if it's all zeros, it breaks the RNG. Because it's a shift. It's a shift register. So everything's zero, has nothing to shift into. I don't know if I allow all zeros though. I do. So this might break it. Oh no, it didn't break it. All right. Huh? How? Oh, the level seed is still 5A6F. Yeah, so I've ruled that out. So yeah, if I have E259, okay, so E259. So I'm gonna hit start. I'm gonna go over to enter seed and make this zeros. I don't have the button repetition. I'm pretty sure it will not allow me to enter this seed. 5A6. Oh right, because if it's 0, 5A6F is the initial seed. So if the first time you boot up the game, it it sets it to that, which is ZO in ASCII. Actually, the capital Z, lowercase o. Those are the ASCII values for that. Yeah. So I mean, if I allowed that, yes, because it wouldn't allow any obstacles to be drawn, honestly, because everything would be always 0. Which is the background no obstacle meta tile, which is is ground and the wall in the background. So I've ruled that one out because I saw that happening. I'm like, you know what? That's gonna break things, so we should not do that. So yeah, no, it is not possible to not have any obstacles. Yeah, at least I don't think so. I seriously doubt it. You can it'd be possible to try though, like to go through every single seed, because it's a 2-byte seed, so what is that? 16. It's a 16-bit number. So if I just do FFFF, so there's that many possible seeds. So you can go and try every single one of them if you really wanted to. Isn't the ASCII for 0 too long for a 4-character hex value? No. It's a single byte. And 0 is different than O. Let's see here. Which is, grab that one. No, that's got a transparent. No, these have transparent background things. I don't want that. Can we just one? I mean, where's the one I usually use? This one will work. No, I want the actual file. Thank you. Yeah, so Z, for instance, over here is 5A for the hexadecimal number, so that's this column here. And the lowercase o, over here somewhere, 6F. So these are the ASCII values. So, yeah. And if you're asking about the actual screen itself that I enter in the values, oh yeah, correct. Yes. ZO, not 0. Right. And that's just the initial value. That's just the initial value. So after every game, it changes it. It stores a new value once you hit the game over screen and you hit start and go back to the main menu. That's when it saves a new seed. Or the old seed. It picks up really where it left off, unless you unless I hit the mute. I muted myself. Unless you go to the seed screen and hit the random seed button, which is this the arrows over there. It just picks a new seed for you. I mean, it's all procedural, so I mean, it's very, very predictable what seed will come out of here, given certain values. But I mean, whatever. It's random enough for my uses. You know, random enough for me. Right. So this is all broken. It's all just broken. Because this is hard coded for the sound pulse 1 or the pulse 1 channel. Yeah, random enough. Yeah, I mean, and the NES doesn't have a true RNG anyway. And I need something to be fast, right? So the RNG that I run on this needs to happen within a single frame entirely. It needs like and not like take up the whole frame either. It needs to fit in a frame and leave room for literally everything else. All of the buffering for drawing, all the actual drawing, all the sound stuff that will eventually happen, all of the physics and the player logic and all that stuff. So it needs to be something really fast and really simple. So that's what happens. It's a simple shift register. It's under game, I think. There it is. So this right here is the entire PRNG function. It uses a 2-byte working seed. It's just it's a very simple shift register. So it shifts some stuff off or rotates some stuff, and exclusive ORs on with a hard-coded value, which is what this is right here. And that works fast enough that I don't have to worry about anything, and it's good enough. Honestly, it's good enough for making decent levels. And I can change the levels that are being made by reorganizing a... what was that? By reorganizing a table down here somewhere. Somewhere at the bottom here. Just right here. So that RNG number is used in part to look up as a lookup value for this table here. And these are all different definitions of obstacles and meta columns and whatnot. Never gonna work, right? Like for instance, this one right here, the meta column, nothing. That's no obstacle. This one's the pit. This is a sink. What is this? Half wall. I don't remember what that one is. This is the pit in the wall. This is the double wall. This is a single wall. Half wall. What is half wall? Oh, half wall is the I renamed it. That's why. It's the fire hydrant. Maybe. Yes. So this is the column definition. These are the meta tile definitions right there. The meta tiles are 2 tiles by 2 tiles, and each column is made up of 4 meta tiles, 4 meta tiles high. And those obstacle columns are These obstacles are defined here. So it's the column width and then the actual contents of said column. So the double wall has the wall obstacle, and then some ground 1 and ground 2. The pit's it's 3 wide. It's got 2 edges to it, which are the top and the bottom, and then the middle one, which you actually collide with. This is the one you collide with, the middle one here. Well, someone's with the pit wall, actually. I don't know if you can actually collide with the outer 2 tiles. I don't think you can, actually, with the pit wall. So that one just looks scary. It isn't really, but it just looks scary, I guess. And this guy is too wide. 5 columns wide. It's too wide, I think. I need to, like, chop a column off that. Because it's massive. It's actually massive. It's hard to get over. And then the half wall at the fire hydrant. Not sure where I was really going with that, but yeah, lots of lookup tables. Nothing compared to the size that the sound engine needs to be, unfortunately. Which is why I'm working on that in its own ROM, its own demo ROM for now, just so I can have all that stuff concentrated. I don't have to worry about anything else. But graphics, yeah, graphics is smaller than sound. Go figure. Go figure. It worked out somehow that way. Graphics is a lot easier than sound too, apparently. Because, I don't know, it's visual. Like, if the graphics screws up, I can look at, like, the graphics output and be like, oh, that's why it screwed up. I have look at the name well, you can't see anything here. No, this is actually drawn. Recent runner. Yeah. I mean, if something's offset wrong, I can tell, oh, this is the address it is, and this is the address it needs to be at, kind of thing. Just maybe to procrastinate on it, right? But sound, like, if there's no audio, okay, it broke. How'd it break? I don't know, it broke. Here, if it breaks, it, like, barfs on the screen in pretty colors. But it doesn't, like, make weird noises when you break the sound. It just doesn't play anything. It's just nothing. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I might call for tonight. Yeah, I didn't get much done tonight, unfortunately, but I got somewhere. I broke it again, so I mean that's progress, right? Yeah. I'll be back on Saturday doing stuff. I'll probably be doing the movie night server stuff on Saturday instead of assembly. Oh, and next week's a special week. Well, thanks. Hope to see you again. Next week is a special week. Normally I don't stream on Mondays, but Monday is my birthday, so I am going to stream on Monday. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. It's going to be a longer stream probably. I'll probably start earlier. Updates and stuff for that way on Discord. I'll probably tweet about it too because of reasons. Yeah, I'm probably playing games on Monday. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I will be back on Saturday. Movie night Saturday night. Details in Discord for that. Yeah, don't go anywhere yet. So let's see if there's someone to go say hi to. Let's go. Hang on. So don't head off yet. What was that?
Good night and happy early birthday.
Thank you for those 100 bits. Really appreciate that. All right, let's see. Who's doing something we can go say hi to? Short stream before vacation. They're already an hour in. All right, we're not gonna do that. What is this guy doing? Music stuff. Music and performing arts. We'll skip that for now. How about this guy? What's this guy doing? Wait, don't go anywhere yet. Hang on. This guy making a game? Or is he playing a game? He's playing a game. Okay. All right. Categories. Who's live right now? Who's live right now? Anybody that? Oh, there's this Grim, but we go say hi to him often. Let's see if there's anybody else first. Guess in Russian. I don't know Russian. Bonjour. That's not English. That guy's doing a presentation somewhere. College work. Last minute rush. I mean, alright, what are you doing on Twitch for that? Alright. I don't see why you're doing anything too interesting. Oh, we'll go say hi to Grim. Let's go say hi to Grim. Oh, he's doing music stuff? Twitch, what in the world is going on with you? Twitch is being dumb. But yeah, we've said hi to this guy before, but do come with me to say hi to Grim. But yes, like I said, I'll be back on Saturday. Hope to see you there. Like 1 o'clock or something. I don't know. Eastern time. You guys have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.